first ban phase coming on.
Jay, who are you betting on?
VIRTUS.PRO are going to be banning out.
If you guys want
proven to be
free, easy money, I would. I think VIRTUS.PRO is a really good team. Don't get me wrong, but I think Citadel Gaming is on a different level.
In terms of
I think Citadel Gaming and their coach, and also Melio, they're fucking disgusting.
Great thing about the Jeff ban as well. He doesn't need the Symbiotic Shenanigans team up, but it does essentially force the Venom ban later on, which VIRTUS.PRO.
Okay, now we're getting into a big voting. Okay, chat. Over 100 people voted for Citadel with 1.6 million. 66 people voted for VIRTUS.PRO with almost 1 million. Okay, we got some bets going on.
Dive composition with that one-sided save onto the Ultron, also meaning that VIRTUS.PRO don't get to use the Ultron to counter the dive coming on through. They do go for that burn on Star-Lord, however, as things like the Human Torch, Star-Lord for themselves, and Invisible Woman is still going to be in play. Potentially, they try and either outdive Citadel Gaming, or they go for a flyer so that they can scout the dive, figure out the rotation that it comes through.
This is going to be a crazy game, chat.
VIRTUS.PRO are going to be removing Human Torch because of that Ultron save from Citadel. Citadel, though, removing the Invis Woman.
Exclamation mark Discord.
Absolutely
this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game.
Those flyers outside of potentially that Luna Snow.
So
that
good
just means
game,
that the
chat.
Luna is going to be a dive target.
Citadel with her own protect here. Definitely seems like VIRTUS.PRO have moved away from a bully Poly angle, and well, they're going to make sure that Poly does have access to that Captain America. This is very similar to what we saw VIRTUS.PRO run on their own draft previously. Now it's the last ban for VP.
Yeah, last ban for them, and it is indeed going to be targeting both Tanuki and Melio, who can play the Psylocke to an absolute superb level, which definitely tells us the kind of composition that VIRTUS.PRO are going to be looking to play, and it is going to involve flyers, as well as make sure to that Poly on that Captain America doesn't have a Psylocke and a Luna Snow and an Emma Frost alongside him to mean that the soft dive becomes a hard
we're good.
Every
We're good.
Single time
Lock it in here, chat. Lock it in here. Come on.
There's the ban on the Rocket Raccoon. They don't want to go up against the undivables here. However, I do think that getting rid of a potential undivable composition does mean that there's more chance to get value out of the Symbiotic Shenanigans. One of the reasons why the Symbiotic Shenanigans does have like a limitation.
Will Navi go to land or are they out? Navi,
and with how J3 often
Citadel, and VIRTUS.PRO are all going to the $1 million
off-angle
tournament in Atlanta, chat.
From the Shark. It can make it a little bit more difficult to get value out of that.
Sam, appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend.
Welcome, welcome. Are going to get a one-sided rocket, so they're going to have.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
So if it goes down to a fight between, say, two Phoenixes as your duelists, one side having that.
If this goes to a game 7, and I don't think it is, but if this goes to a game 7, chat, I'll clap without my hands.
With the Endsong Inferno, plus if we actually see VIRTUS.PRO go for the Star-Lord,
I want to see a great game, bro. I don't want to see a roll. I want to see a great game.
More than enough, I'm sure, in a triple strategist line potentially to heal through Galactic Legends pressure too.
All right, heading into T'Challa, the EMEA Grand Finals is finally here. VIRTUS.PRO.
What's up, Jasmine? Hope you had a safe flight. How's the trip?
Months at the large launch of this game, we thought.
What's the twerk record? My twerk? My twerk is too powerful. I am 7 for 7 right now. Every time I have twerked for a team to win, I have won.
Gaming. Hold on a minute. We're rolling out triple Vanguard.
It's too powerful, bro. NetEase and actually Marvel have DM'd me and emailed me to not twerk for a team because I am changing the record of teams.
The objective, as we can see, Tanuki on the outside looking for a target to pick off.
Yeah, Tanuki just doing their best to evade right now and stall the capture of this point. Actually, 3-2-1 for Citadel here, so they still have a Phoenix coming through from Melio. Ken and Alex are going to be these evasive strategists, but that
nope, I'm not doing it for this match, chat.
Meant a huge amount of staying power from Citadel was already taken away. Close to a first cap here, RVP, but they're unable to fully secure it. Melio brought back by the BRB. Time to
if you can't use your prime sub, I think it's what happened. It's when you used it initially. So let's just say you use your prime sub on 7 p.m. I think it's going to be probably like 7 p.m. you get it.
Rage of Ultron and provide the sustainability for Citadel to live it.
All right, Fire looking for the entry here of Enzo. Doesn't want to actually exchange fire just yet. Just wondering where Citadel are going to be coming from. It's all about that wraparound and collapse. Tanuki taken down by Fincy. Sentient seized and destroyed.
Wow, VIRTUS.PRO actually taking the first cap. Ooh, what a play by Sparker. Okay.
Yeah, VIRTUS.PRO very quickly pulling at the threads of Citadel Gaming's angle so that the dive is never able to group up and pick one specific target, which means that the dive has been somewhat abandoned. Tanuki is going to go on to counter Psylocke measures instead over to that Winter Soldier. If VIRTUS.PRO try and play aggressive and overextend into Citadel space once more, they'll get punished for it because of the CC.
All right, Sparker once again noting the approach here of Citadel Gaming. They're finally coming up towards some of these. Tanuki on the Winter Soldier, certainly a newer look. It's Alex around the back with the Rage of Ultron. Enzo is mostly avoided when using that Feast of the Abyss, and so VIRTUS.PRO seem unscathed by the two ultimates invested. Enzo's disengagement, not going to be pretty. Fincy thinks that it actually fully uggers, actually. Poly taken
Terra
off the
is
map.
on
No
100
chance given
Thieves.
for a re-engagement. There will be a quick re-engage coming through from the side of Saipe with the Eternal Bond, making sure that VIRTUS.PRO continue to have all the space they need on the point there. Touch more as well.
Wow, this
play around the outside with the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. There's no means to take that one down quickly. But what about a multitude of stuns?
Damn, what an ult by Nevix.
The Eye of Agamotto opens, and the door for Citadel Gaming is surely closed. Alex's healing remains, yes, but he should be easily chased on down. Saipe's been found around the back. Enzo found exactly the right moment as Melio gets in close. Starts to stack up melee. Sparks.
Okay, wow, I thought that was going to be a roll. Stephanie, I appreciate the massive 2 months. And Magical Unicorn for 23 months. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great weekend.
Being able to get into position and provide primary healing coming on through from the Joyful Splash. We could well see Citadel with control of these angles now turn this from 0 to 100% as long as they can scout out the rotation of both the Psylocke and the Venom. Spark of the Dance of the Butterflies finds Enzo, who holds the angle and pushes him back, and we can see now Alex just waiting for that Rage of Ultron for when VIRTUS.PRO get aggressive and can't disengage.
Directional push forces out the healing prowess of the Rage of Ultron, but VP, the disengage is fairly clean here. It means that Alex is going to
NA starts at 7 o'clock tonight, chat.
Tanuki's too far away
EST.
to really have an impact on this fight. They try to go in for the freedom charge, a little bit of additional sustainability. Tanuki and Fincy walk away with their lives intact for now. An attempted eat, I don't think it's going to come on through instead. Dorijo once again prioritizing getting healing out on the remainder of the team.
Oh,
Enzo gets it done once more. The Feast of the Abyss is an absolute all-you-can-eat buffet of bear meat.
Freedom charge though from Polly was exhausted, making sure that Sparker's Dance of the Butterflies didn't take Tanuki down. Tanuki with the Kraken Impact is going to hold a big win condition for Citadel Gaming coming into this next fight. They don't have a defensive now other than the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier against this Galactic Legend coming on through from Phi. Saipe with the Eternal Bond too just has all of that sustainability to let VIRTUS.PRO take the fight over to the objective itself.
Fight on the objective. VIRTUS.PRO would certainly enjoy that. But it's going to be a Feast of the Abyss to open up here from Nevix. Tanuki tries to dodge away, utilizing the Kraken Impact. Prioritizes with Captain America. Can we try and chase down Fincy? But Collingwood almost finished. In the last second, Tanuki gets it done. And the play with 5 noted. Can't dodge away. Goes back into all the healing.
Oh, is he going to try to hook him?
And turns it around themselves. Out comes the Galactic Legend. Catches Alex with no healing. Looks towards the sky. Tanuki's up there waiting shyly. And Enzo's elsewhere here. The Galactic Legend easily tears through Symbiotic Flesh as Poly dodges on off to get themselves a quick heal.
I think they have another.
Yep.
Wait, is that their portal on the high ground? Oh no, they haven't even portaled yet.
And Fincy as well. So all of the reinforcements are going to be coming through in no time at all. Tanuki down and Ken as well. Is there going to be enough healing here for Citadel? I don't think they really have the health pool to try and make this one work.
Potentially they can turn it with Feast of the Abyss. The Sparker thinks that it's still winnable maybe for Citadel. And out comes the Dance of the Butterflies. Feast does mean that Enzo will be able to live, but that is not going to give any other sustainability to his team. Citadel Gaming, the pick coming in on Alex, the Rage of Ultron could be built up with that Galactic Legend, was the thing that allowed
the Unk squad is actually doing it.
That Alex had to swap off of the Ultron.
The Unk squad is actually doing it. Maybe they're just warmed up because they just played Navi, but
and like you said, they just had no sustainability even with the ball.
But right, remember, there is a curse.
Yeah, just
there is a curse. Usually
perishing.
Usually, whoever does win the first game of KOF usually loses, chat. So,
new vogue of bans with Ultron being as powerful as he is.
I don't know, man.
Still struggles against that hit scan.
It's not the J curse. It's just something that I noticed.
Has been an absolute menace for Citadel to have to deal
if VIRTUS.PRO doesn't win this next round to close the game, and Citadel does win, and it's 1-1, usually that means Citadel's probably going to win again.
On both the Psylocke and the Starlord, it got to the point where VIRTUS.PRO just had so much point percentage ahead of Citadel Gaming. It really was just a matter of building up ultimates and snowballing over your opponent. This time around, though, Citadel will continue on the composition they finished with. So we've already got that Winter Soldier and Phoenix out on the board, over 50% of their first ultimates. VIRTUS.PRO going to be cut off before they can rotate over to the objective.
All right, already Jay3 forced down to the ground, could look for a big eat here. Gets more allies than enemies. I believe it's only Enzo in their mouth right now.
He's gonna have to jump off the map. Oh my god, he was inches away, chat. Inches away.
Tanuki can't quite get out of the way in time. Cellular corrosion grabs them. Polly towards the back has found Saipe, and Alex has been resurrected already. And
Finzi?
Die of Agamotto will only stun Enzo, but he dropped on the wrong side of the wall, and so follow-up wasn't that easy to get. It's down to Sparker with the dashes of the butterflies to try and make that one work. Alex gets in close and personal, has to dodge for cellular corrosion of the Venom. There's so much damage coming through onto the Ultron right now, and Nevix's Dark Predations finally find their man. The Iron Fist is here from Tanuki.
Wait, we have an Iron Fist? No way.
Must be Iron Fist. And I'm
chat, we had an Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, I think just the cloak and dagger landing that point more. This poor Tanuki is just absolutely detonated.
Bro,
he at least can put
oh my god, the way he just died and fell over, that shit's funny.
It's going to be a very short-lived appearance from Iron Fist. Over to the Phoenix, Tanuki goes. Melio onto the Adam too to have Soulbind to walk into this next fight as VIRTUS.PRO have the angles to set up. Nevix is just waiting for the Vanguards to go onto point before he hits the vulnerable back line.
Enzo already got Saipe as well. Fincy plays behind the statue of Bast. The Panther God rains down damage from above, and the pocket's good from Jay3. You can see that Joyful Splash just rolling on through the Freedom Charge on the other side. Polly wants Jay3 so badly, but a healing pool is left on point to sustain these Vanguards, while a cheeky little eat from Jay3 is going to be a real difficulty to deal with if you're an Adam Warlock. Well, you know what? It's a little bit easier. If Tanuki comes through from the sky and just sets alight the shark, Tanuki gets in close and
oh, see, Tanuki, I don't know what he was doing on Iron Fist, but there you go. He found a character that he's going to play, chat.
DPS, but also
this I don't know why he was playing Iron Fist. Iron Fist is not even a good melee character. Now, Phoenix is a great melee character. He's the best melee character in the game.
VIRTUS.PRO, though, will rotate so they don't have to deal with all of that incoming damage. They've got the ultimates. They want to go quickly. They don't want to allow Citadel Gaming a little bit of poke attrition to build up. But Stratus ultimates to counter it. Out comes the Ensong Inferno. Dodges the Eye of Agamotto and the Soul Resurgence too from Citadel. Means that everybody who got caught by it is fully alive and healed through.
Oh, they still got Melio though. But Melio has res.
Cocoon revival though to bring themselves back in an emergency. Waiting for the remainder of a team to say whether or not this one is won. Still going to bring themselves back though. Knows that this could still be swung either way if VIRTUS.PRO decide to invest. Sparker slain.
Nice shots.
Tanuki.
Nice
the
shots.
Are coming thick and fast for Tanuki on the Phoenix.
Yeah, but can Melio find value now with the Karmic Revival? It's going to have to be the instant revives upon the activation of the ultimate rather than the 10-second window that accompanies it, given the fact that Sparker and Fi can both track down the Adam's whereabouts and take him out without the res.
Tanuki with a damage boost up close and personal to the Venom. Nice soul bond used there to just distribute the damage amongst Citadel Gaming. No one falls from the mortal coil for now. They shall grip to it with gritted teeth and white knuckles. In comes a Jay3 eat. It's walking towards the back. Miller's already been taken down, and that Cocoon Revival's not available. All the other strategists have been taken in. Jay3 needs to dodge away quickly, quietly, and best as they can. Out they go with no means of sustaining themselves. Polly uses the Freedom Charge because they believe it's winnable. Enzo and Polly is a duo. One of the ancient legends of EMEA possibly brought to life before your eyes. Saipe can come back here with the Eternal Bomb. The health pack hasn't respawn yet.
Oh, wait, did he get the health pack?
But Melio's opened up the portal to return in short order. Gives up their ultimate.
How the fuck did they win? Wait, how did they win that?
Destroyed here on the engagement. It's gonna be a mad dash to try and touch. They finally get it done. Out comes the Galactic Legend. The healing behind it comes through from the Eternal Bond. And there's extra damage taken by the Venom. Look, floating above it. Oh, the Ensong Inferno. I don't think it manages to actually touch the ground. Melee is going to come back on the Heller of all things. On the off angle. Fi's taking so much damage. A dance of the butterflies as well. Fi's just catching hit scan poke from everywhere. A shooting gallery set up in favor of Citadel.
Citadel needs to win this, remember.
Control. Sparker hangs out around the back while Fincy contemplates for usage of a freedom charge.
Melio's just free shooting on the side. No one's contesting him. He's just free shooting. Yeah, wow. Dude.
Instantly evaporate Ken, but Citadel Gaming, they'll walk away with a 1-1.
The curse is happening. I guarantee you guys Citadel wins this. I guarantee you guys Citadel wins this.
Antarctic and actually
it's the curse.
For him, I had Steve Rogers because
also, I'm pretty sure Dredro got both supports off the map. That's actually crazy that Captain America was able to just like win that. Nah, they definitely need to nerf Spider-Man. I've seen enough.
The one who had to swap to the Strange to be able to pull the team back in time.
I've seen enough.
That could have gone absolutely awfully for Citadel Gaming if it hadn't worked out.
Oh, yeah, that could have gone so wrong so quickly. But it's all about these calculated risks. And like Salah said, one of the things about this team, Citadel Gaming, is that they really do trust their opinions in the moment and the seniority they have from having competed for so long.
I mean, Melio too, when he comes back on the Hella of all things as well, it's overtime. VIRTUS.PRO's entire attention is focused on the point rather than the surroundings of it, which means that no one's looking at the Hella. Uncontested, yes, the health bar is fairly chunky. She's probably not going to be able to find the actual eliminations, but she's still going to be able to contribute a fair chunk of damage.
Nerf Adam's movement. I love that one.
With the Soul Drainer, including that Psylocke. Now, though, we're back over towards that Adam. Citadel Gaming going to be wrapping around the high ground of that point to make it even harder for Sparker and Finzy to find an inroad.
Polly watches the approach. The freedom charge popped here by Fincy, dragging VIRTUS.PRO forth. Look at those health bars filled with blue. And Alex needs to rebuff them using the raw healing here of the Fate of Both Worlds. A Sonic Seduction counter-strike from Nevix, taking a bunch of damage. As Dredro's ready to go. Oh, Tanuki's got so many sparks. He's just going to instantly nuke the Jeff from orbit. Dredro falling low and can't really find the edge easily. Polly chases them down. Tanuki once again up close and personal. The Ensong Inferno declared.
What a, oh my god, bro. This is crazy. Like the like target priority and the target changing in the middle of the like that little small room. That's crazy.
In the back, and well, they found some booty indeed. Quite the prize to grab. The Phoenix Alex brawls on through. The damage of Valuna is not to be underestimated as the Captain Americas charge after each other.
Finzy, bro, at least go down swinging.
I mean,
Finzy was just getting slapped in the back of the head, bro, and he wasn't doing anything about it.
He's got the idol aura. This Captain America, every single heal he absorbs from Alex is gaining 135% efficiency. VIRTUS.PRO, we're gonna be moving over to the Ammo Frost. We've had enough of the Captain America shenanigans. If Polly gets aggressive, into the Carbon Crush he goes.
Into the Crusher, potentially. Fine, needs a little bit of support over here on this angle, but Tanuki exactly the same. Oh, messes up the disengage. The map knowledge failing temporarily. Couldn't make it through the door. Coming out close and personal. It's going to be a solo race here for Tanuki, but Spark is more than happy to carve through the offerings given by the perfect human.
Damn, Sparker's making the nerf Psylocke look good. And she's getting buffed too. Her ult is going to do more damage, 20 more damage, chat. Remember, 150 to 170.
Because Polly, when he rotates, is going to be about just attention draw. Finzy's going to have to turn and look at the cap. The rest of the team gets to move forward and put pressure onto either the backline or deal with that dive. It's all about scouting that rotations as Melio has to build up another Comic Revival. Does have the Soulbind though, so Citadel Gaming are going to get aggressive and just move into the space that VIRTUS.PRO wanted to hold into, making that backline a little bit safer from the dive. Out comes the Soul Resurgence, damage boost of Feast of the Abyss is going to be able to find a connection to a backline potentially.
Oh no, bro.
But he uses it to dodge the Ensong Inferno connection.
Tanuki coming in close towards
oh, they traded. I was surprised. I thought he was gonna pop his ult so he doesn't die.
Oh, no.
lacking mobility of Melio.
Oh,
Maybe a few
poor Melio.
from elsewhere. It's down to Alex to try and hold this one down. However, stalling might not be in favor of Citadel right now because they're not in control of the point. VIRTUS.PRO is still accruing percentage, but hey, Polly's arrived. The big bad boss is here, and he's only got 90 HP, so off he pops.
VIRTUS.PRO are putting Fi over towards the Human Torch too.
This is a really great series, though. Both teams are going back and forth, chat. This is a really good series. I think we're gonna be entertained with this.
And Fi can spam entirely on
this is how finals should look like.
Single bit of terrain, understanding that Netflix would be holding up close and personal with the Feast of the Abyss and the Dance of the Butterflies. There's simply so much damage. The Soul Bond was there, but they're still going to lose one of their players. It's the Adam at least, so the Self Cocoon comes on through, and Citadel forward march with all 6.
Okay, quick disengage here from Citadel. They're going to try and wait out the usage of the Eternal Bond. Tanuki flames above it all, runs down onto Nevix, who easily gets healed on that by the Eternal Bond.
Oh, nice sleep.
What a sedation. Spark is here as well. There's so much
and they got the kill. What a sleep. Who was that? 10. Good shit.
Healing to come on through, so sustains himself with a Feast of the Abyss. Tanuki getting in closer. Melee battle against Captain America. Fincy knows that it's time to make a mad dash for the health pack. And Citadel Gaming still aren't in control of the point. They flip it eventually, and VIRTUS.PRO now have to make a decision as to whether or not they try and fight this one out. They've still got Sparker in the back line, and Fincy is there too. But against a triple healer, it can be a little bit difficult to try and convert.
It's winnable.
Season opening. Coming in with the flame cyclones. They want to try and deal.
Oh, that is so risky, bro. That is risky, bro. That is risky.
Brings back the carry, and the sacrifice is there.
Oh, that was risky.
Cypher's already fallen on down. So as we reach 80% here, Citadel still in control.
Yeah, Citadel putting all of their faith on their Captain America, stalling long enough once again for a portal and a freedom charge and Endsong Inferno to be built up, and it's enough. Melio looks like he's actually just going to try and portal onto VIRTUS.PRO to try and cut off the engagement. Oh, he might go for Saipe because of the Eternal Bond on the Cloak and Dagger. If he can catch the Eternal Bond as it dashes, that would be huge!
Okay, gonna force out the iframe already and the Terror Cape as well, so I can't be used as a follow.
Wait, that's big! That's big if they get the kill! That's big! He had ult! Wait, Melio! He's a Giga Brain! Wait! His brain is so massive!
Refreshes the health bar. Polly's taken down.
Oh.
Ken.
Wait, Finzy's off the map.
The force physics, the force of nature.
Bro.
Citadel's backline.
Bro, Virtus, I don't know whether Melio is a god or VIRTUS.PRO just threw.
VIRTUS.PRO gonna try and nom their way out of this one. A quick double strategist ultimate on the point for unlimited sustainability. And Dredro knows they can't go for an E because they gotta keep this one contested. VIRTUS.PRO come back as a full team now. They've lost out on Dredro and Saipe. They're playing on
No, I think that's GG's chat. I told you the curse is true. I told you guys the curse is true. It doesn't matter if you win the first map. You always lose the next two. You never want to win the first one. I told you, it's literally a curse. If you win the first game, you always lose the map. Always.
We pulled up the stats, right? We said this is the damage that he's done. This is the amount of times that he's been picked. It's not just that he brings to the table. It's the core.
Bro, that kidnap by Melio, I'm pretty sure won him the game though. That won him the game. That was a very, very close series though. Look at the stats. The stats are even really close.
Who called to go for that teleport play onto the Cloak and Dagger? It was either him or Melio. But either way, whoever came up with that
it's urgent? No, chat. I cannot do that.
Annihilate the Cloak so that they didn't have a turn.
I have 100% twerk win rate. I cannot just. I have to use it responsibly. I cannot just use it irresponsibly. I have to be responsible with the power that I have.
On the back of that last dash, it would have been Citadel having to give up the point and allowing VIRTUS.PRO the flip. And then they would have had Strange Portal advantage and likely VIRTUS.PRO win the overall fight.
Did Polly just intimidate Fincy into Ivagamotoing for a pure sprinting
also,
aura?
Citadel winning this fight after killing both supports was wild.
He's just approaching menacingly. Oh my goodness. I mean, the comic revivals, though, like VIRTUS.PRO, they had a really good game plan into the Atom Wall. Like, you can tell that both with the Psylocke and the Human Torch, they had such a good rid of that. But look at this. There's absolutely nowhere for Saipe to be able to go. They timed it perfectly, too, because the point percentage that Citadel were on, VIRTUS.PRO, you know, like, they're coming, hey, my cloak and dagger is being jumped upon. They just teleported directly onto me. But there's absolutely nothing that they can do, because if they turn around and try and peel for the cloak and dagger, they give up objective control, and they would lose the fight, lose the point regardless. What they have to do
yo, DC2514, I appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend. Welcome. I'm pretty sure Saipe is not happy with what just happened.
Does end up happening, but crucially for Citadel, they built up Invis Boundary, and they're able to put it on point, and everybody lives.
I mean, part of that Invis Boundary is that Ken managed to use that portal that was used to ambush the Cloak and Dagger to get back after being picked as well. There are layers upon layers upon layers. It's ogre level strategies here for the side of Citadel Gaming. We'll see if they have any more in store after this break.
Nice. Okay, I'm turning this down. This is really loud. Oh, Saipe was robbed. I mean, I don't think he was robbed. It was a really smart play. The portal on the support, and he brought him to his spawn, and then he 1v1'd him. I think it was a smart play. Why do I always bet on the loser? Chat, it's only one round, bro. Anything can happen. I don't get why more teams don't ban Strange TP. It's the best ability in the game. Some teams do. But if you ban Doctor Strange, you are leaving a lot of other options open. Usually, I think usually EMEA loves to ban a lot of support characters. Force you on, like, some bad supports. Yo, chat. I'm just a streamer, bro. You're gonna have to ask, like, a pro.
Protect your bald king.
Bad supports? Yeah, there could be, like, there's a lot of teams that try to force you on Rocket. If you're on Rocket Jeff, you're only what kind of defensible? It's gonna be what, Rocket? And then if your team, because you banned, let's just say them, and they're running Rocket Jeff against you, and you have a Phoenix, then you basically take out that Rocket, and they have no, like, I mean, some teams are winning somehow with VIRTUS.PRO, I think, was doing it last series. They were winning with Rocket Ultron heals. I don't know how that's even possible, but they were doing it. I don't think that should be possible, but yeah. I was so happy when I got the Mantis skin, but I had to change back to another skin because I didn't like the sounds it gave off. You can change the sounds in your settings if you don't like the sounds that skin has. For an example, if you're using what's that annoying skin that always like has like a frog? It's the Thor skin. You could just turn it off in your settings and still keep the skin. I mean, to be honest with you, it is kind of annoying every time you swing and you hear the ribbit. It gets pretty annoying.
How close that was and how clutch Citadel can be when it comes to these wild domination fights. But Citadel are a beast that is essentially destructive on domination. It has been one of VIRTUS.PRO's weaker
that frog hammer's not good,
but now VIRTUS.PRO can decide where we go in our best of 7 series, Mox.
Yeah, I think, unironically, VIRTUS.PRO could very realistically actually decide to take us to Convoy and then ban Strange and get not just value from banning Strange to stop the second fight portal recontest from defensive halves, but also stop Citadel from being able to have anyone swap to Strange, and just off of trust from the stall potential from their Vanguard line, keep those fights going. Because if Strange had been out
oh
of
shit,
play,
yeah, like watch the bans, watch the bans. We're on Midtown Convoy. A lot of people love doing portal plays here, but you're not gonna see him being banned.
Off a victory there against Na'Vi, probably feeling that they might be able to run similar.
How many days a week do you hit the gym?
I believe
depends.
Na'Vi banned a bunch of Vanguards against them previously.
Usually,
yes, there goes the EMEA ban coming on
4 or 5,
CITADEL,
but when
so
I'm
we're
running
still
tournaments
going to be
like this and I have
seeing
no
a lot
downtime,
of those
probably
Vanguard
like
crushes
less,
coming on through from
maybe
the
0.
Pro-siders. They're going to be able to secure one-sided EMEA, which now means that if Poly's Captain America or Venom or whatever Vanguard Poly wants to choose from is now going to be coming under so much more pressure off of things like the Carbon Crush, which I think is very smart. It means that VIRTUS.PRO don't have to burn 4 bans against Poly. They simply have a counter equipped to deal with it.
Yeah, but we can just give 1 ban over and 1 protect, and we'll try and deal with Poly that way. Beside CITADEL Gaming, they're going for the El Clasico, going down the list of
I've only hit the gym once.
Trying to remove all of this.
It totaled my car. What the
potential portal shenanigan, of course, from VIRTUS.PRO. But do not want to see Jay3 eat another portal cast.
No, teams cannot protect a character after they ban them. So like this team right here,
with the stopping Doctor Strange,
like they just banned Adam. This team cannot save Adam. They can't. He's already banned. But this team saved Emma. This team cannot ban Emma because they already saved it.
Combined with either crack and impact or
Yep. Yo, what's up, Japanese Curry? How you doing? How you doing?
Try and go on their attacking
Hope all's well.
and break the triple Vanguard, triple strategist hold that VIRTUS.PRO are no doubt planning.
Yeah, it's going to be in the back of the mind for everybody. They're going to match the Adam ban as well as Ultron's taken off the
yeah,
field.
so what a lot of teams...
The Human Torch of 5.
What? No, I'm not going to torch, bro. Why would I do that right now?
The Star-Lord in rotation here.
I hope your ranked games are going well.
You know what's still in play too, Harry? Loki Mantis, which is another reason why VIRTUS.PRO removed the group. Vibrant Vitality.
The frog? Wait, what the? I'm not reading that. YouTube, what the hell?
Okay, one-sided Ultron as well. A lot of focus on the strategists here from CITADEL Gaming to be able to forge the kind of composition that they want. VIRTUS.PRO now going to be able to get their last ban and protect. They might need to get rid of a Venom here just to try and shut down symbolic shenanigans, which is going to be very useful in the tight spaces of Midtown.
Yeah, though you do have ammo. Means that you can use the Carbon Crush, and indeed, Storm is going to get removed.
See, this is what I don't understand, chat. Like,
Gaming's Jeff NATO composition, remember?
They're saving... Okay, I guess they could do Jeff NATO, but they're saving Jeff and they're saving Ultron. I don't think you should run both of those characters at the same time. I don't think that's good feeling.
Woman who is going to be rolling up. Maybe we'll ban the Luna here to try and
make sure that... What time is that any finals? 7 o'clock.
It's going to be a 2-strategist composition from the side of VIRTUS.PRO. They can't run what many people would say is probably the best double at the moment.
I don't think Jeff Ultron is good. That's what I'm saying. No.
Yeah, although if you
but if you run triple support, you're what? Luna,
so Phoenix is Luna, because Mag was also still
Ultron,
and Phoenix and
Jeff.
Mag
I think that's still shit.
Able to use things like Ensong Inferno plus Meteor M and the slow capabilities of Invis Boundary when combined with either of them, CITADEL Gaming with their strategist ultimates would not be able to stand up to the task of surviving.
I mean, I understand it, but I don't particularly like it against VIRTUS.PRO.
Okay, see?
I don't think that the Phoenix is a massive part of VIRTUS.PRO's toolkit when you think about the duelist, like, pulls that they run.
Yeah, but I think as well, the fact that a lot of these fights on Midtown are going to be very linear, especially when it comes to that
they switched to Loki and went Jeff. I want to see their final team comp. I want to see it.
Phoenix being able to build up as many sparks as she can and all of the stacked players on the side rooms when the walls crumble away has meant that everyone just gets stunned and you fall so incredibly low, even if it's not ultimates in play from the enemy opponent. A lot of the time, you're actually just having to mesh Q as a strategist to survive it.
You know what? We did see quite a bit of usage out of that Phoenix when it came to the self-healing capabilities of the Ensong Inferno as well.
Yep.
At least from the side of CITADEL, I definitely were leveraging some of that.
Okay, let me see this. Show me. Where was it?
This is actually going to make Sparker so dangerous.
That's another reason why you didn't want to let the Phoenix for damage boosted Phoenix. Is absolutely no joke when it comes to damage output. Spark is going to be, however, damage boosted by the Mantis this time on that Psylocke to try and keep
they have an Inviswoman
and Melee, who are going to be
which
up in
is
the sky.
actually pretty interesting. A lot of teams run 3 tanks, 3 supports here, but they're not doing it.
Armor when he comes to pressure.
Yeah, plenty of means to assuage the incoming pressure. Actually, a mono-directional push here coming through from Fi and Sparker. A 2v1 opted into by Tanuki. It's brave, but is it foolish is the question. Nah, with Polly at your back, you can take any 2v2. Bro is the absolute goat of those.
What kind of caffeine do you use? Pre-workout or just coffee? Who, me? I don't use anything, chat. I hate coffee. And I don't think pre-workout is actually really healthy for you, so I don't do that either.
However, the objective is slowly making its way a little bit.
Hey Jay, I heard of you
the
on Tim's stream, and now I'm here because he's on COD, and COD sucks now. Wait.
I put on the ammo.
Map starting to open up a bit, so this is where Sparker and Finzi can really
why was I brought up on Tim's stream when he's playing COD?
Coming up close and personal, Tanuki on the chase. Notes the approach of Fi right here, but into the loving arms of Druja. There's more than enough healing. Remember, the speed boost given over to everyone inside the Soul Resurgence as well is critical for overrunning exposed positions.
Finzi's going to have Sonic Seduction too. It's going to be a late pick potentially onto Polly, which means the Citadel are going to be able to stall and have another opportunity to take a fight. So far, though, no Doctor Strange portal.
He called you ass and COD.
They're going to be able to keep the fight stalled long enough for someone to swap over to it.
Well, I mean, it's probably true. I hate Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty is the same game every single year, copy and paste it with a little bit of change of graphics, and they charge you another $100 each year. I think it's the biggest scam.
The Ultron goes so low, but the invisible boundary from Alex saves him. However, it's now off of the point.
I think it's the biggest scam.
Point, which means Enzo rolling on
I think, don't get me wrong. If you have fun playing games like NBA, oh my god, if he hit that, that would have been crazy. Don't get me wrong. If you like playing like NBA 2K or like Madden or FIFA, hey, by all means, keep playing those. But I think those games are really scams. To be honest with you, you shouldn't come out with a new game with the same graphics when you could literally just throw an update that literally just changes the rosters of the teams or add people in and call it a day.
Mobility was already gone. Polly found in the back. Nevix surrounded and just going to be torn apart as the piranhas circle in the water.
Yeah, I mean, Melio actually goes over to the Doctor Strange and portals into VIRTUS.PRO's back line rather than on the objective so that he can come on through and box them in between both the Doctor Strange damage and the Captain America running directly at them. Snooki's been able to build up Galactic Legend without VIRTUS.PRO building an ultimate up to stop it. They don't have Soul Resurgence in the pockets yet, but Druidra should have it online before Snooki
It's not the same if it's a different number, though. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Trying to soak it. The Galactic Legend has to come on through, and Alex, with the invisible boundary, is going to be able to put it on the objective, but they've already lost 2 and the Strange Portal. VIRTUS.PRO have the numbers advantage when it drops.
And they have a damage boosted Feast of the Abyss ready to go as well. Nevix in the back manages to take out Alex, but she's just traded elsewhere. Once again, Polly feels the siren call of the absolutely dastardly stall. Ken's going to opt out of an eat here instead wanting to come back as quickly as possible to try and get those heals onto Polly. They're going to be all the more necessary though with the Cosmic Yarn.
Yeah, that's like,
making sure that everybody has
that doesn't make any sense. That's like subbing to me, chat, while I'm promoting, like, hey, if you sub to me, you get ad-free viewing, and then me turning on an option, which there is, by the way, that gives subs ads too. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, chat, sub to me right now. You get ad-free viewing. Bang, ad.
The Galactic Legends is weaved by Fi. Fi Fo Farm. I smell the blood.
Yeah, you can do that.
Citadel in the water, and I smell an entry into second point.
Oh, VIRTUS.PRO, by the skin of their teeth, are able to push it on through off of that Galactic Legend, and Nevix going into the backline and just stalling them out. Now comes the swaps. Melee is going to be moving over to that Phoenix, having the advantage of the invisible woman being able to play the off angle and yet again distract VIRTUS.PRO. If they try and take a fight on the main route of under subway, they have to open themselves up and their backline to that Phoenix. So you can see Nevix trying to scout out where exactly Melee is going to show up from.
Maybe a soft dive here from Nevix to begin with, trying to make people turn around. The freedom charge is good. Great insurance against the Dance of the Butterflies. Sparker double dips, going for an extra duel off the back of a team up given over by the Emma. Manages to take out Melio here. Don't know if there's any option for a resurrection.
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention to this game. I think we were ranting. What happened?
Dips away, but doesn't really have the HP to try and sustain this one. So close to ultimate, but Citadel Gaming, they're so far away.
Yeah, but Ken with the jab and that primary heal has kept up the Vanguards who've been taking a little bit of damage and channeling it over to the It's Jeff build, which means that they'll have it up and available as well as Alex's invisible boundary. But VIRTUS.PRO are one fight away from taking second.
Well, I don't know if the unks are rolling right now. I want the unks to roll.
The invisible boundary, but that again forces it off of the objective.
I do think Citadel Gaming is the best EU team now. So if VIRTUS.PRO does win, I'd be very surprised.
Got themselves an opening. Undefeatable screams rejoin. May well be right. The meter end goes wide once again from Enzo, and Nevix holds back multiple members at the doorway, meaning that Enzo doesn't have any help. No help in the back line for Enzo. Citadel Gaming now has to send their squishy members up to try and contest the point, but it seems like Nevix and Finzi have no design to even letting them think about that. Not entertaining the notion. Poly falls down and Melia will stand alone against the Horde.
The strength of the Mantis here.
Yo, Siren! Appreciate the massive 2 months.
Damage booster,
there you go.
Which is why Alex is constantly having to respond with the invisible boundary.
Whoa. Who says we all are? I'm rooting for both teams. I think both teams are really good. I do, low-key, I think Citadel will win, but I also do think, I do hope, I should say, VIRTUS.PRO does do really well. Seeing VIRTUS.PRO not make China Grand Finals, and what do you call it? For the mid-season was kind of very... That was tough.
Healing pool given over, and now Ken's going to be in the back line, which means Poly has
No, jobs are not Duolingo. I think it's if you sub, you get Duolingo for like a free month or something.
Exactly where Ken is and gives him a solo galactic legend. Okay, buddy, a little bit rude, I'm not going to lie, but still it clears the area, and Citadel are sent scurrying.
Alex is going to have the BRB to bring one of their players back, but for Citadel Gaming, they don't have a clear win condition. Melia needs to build up the dance of the butterflies, but Drifter's going to have the soul resurgence. Plus, you don't have the angle scouted. You don't know where VIRTUS.PRO are going to be sending the dive. There goes the Cosmic Gun Amplifier, and there goes the Jeff. Melia is the next target now because they know he's close to the ult, and because they've been able to find one pick, the BRB's already down.
VIRTUS.PRO is doing really well though.
Here with these, Melio takes down Sniper using
it's a really strong max on them. Oh shit, Turbo 69, nice. I appreciate it. I appreciate 69 months. That's a very long time, man. Very long time.
Chance for symbiotic resilience here is put to sleep and then slept permanently thereafter. Spark is starting to feel it. Starts with Dance of the Butterflies. The music's in his ears of a Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. Just eats a bunch of those dashes. Perhaps not the ideal there from Alex, but we have to dive on in it anyway. Enzo's there with a
if they cap,
but Finzi
that'll be huge. I think they are capping.
For high heals pierce through symbiotic armor. An attempted an eat will be delivered by the Jeff the Land Shark, but still VIRTUS.PRO have everything they need to try and cut their way through.
Who did the Jeff even eat? We didn't even see it. Oh, they capped.
Finzi begins to channel and
I think this is VIRTUS.PRO's best map. I don't think we see a lot of pro teams actually fully cap this map, and the fact that they actually did it twice today is crazy. This actually might go in VIRTUS.PRO's favor. And now VIRTUS.PRO is going to go triple tank, triple support, and they're going to full hold. Watch.
Even more time off of their bank too. That is a huge chunk of time for a convoy map we don't often get to see fully completed, given the nature of how close the respawn point LOS is to the backline, to the convoy just before it ends.
Oh, a very close defense here, but VIRTUS.PRO once again complete. Maybe they can batten down the hatches and try and figure out how Na'Vi managed to get one over on them in overtime so many times in a row. But their defense did look stalwart in extra rounds last time.
It's amazing and how quickly they can actually kill Cap. In my games, it takes 10 minutes.
Coming in, they don't have it on the attack. Tanuki's going to be over towards the torch. He is going to
what rank are you? Because I was going to say
torch. So it's all about
probably the difference is that these guys can aim.
Pressure and not being taken down when you're starting to develop that angle for your duelist. Poly's over to the Wolverine, given the fact that
best of 7, best of 7.
Groot.
I didn't. I wasn't toxic. Come on.
So two very juicy targets for the Wolverine, but bear in mind, Finzi is going to be there, the mother bear behind her 2 Vanguard players with the Carbon Crush and Diamond Form CC immunity to stop Poly from finding the pick.
And Cypher's already been having a lights out game today. We know that the Force Physics is the classic counter to the Wolverine. Tanuki getting up close and personal.
I do think Captain America is really good. And I mean, I don't know if you know, Japanese Curry is still here, but he's a really good cap.
that is.
I think he's actually really good in low ranks.
To stop this from moving forward.
And lower
Trying
ranks.
to funnel VIRTUS.PRO into those side buildings so that Tanuki gets a little
Like,
bit more space.
Captain
Doesn't
America
have to
just
worry
running around the
about
cart or
all of
jumping
that
up and
damage
down on the
coming his
cart,
way
just
because
going the
of
cart
being
and
cut
stalling the
off
cart for as
from
long as he can.
visibility, plus getting the spam
It's
pressure onto
it's
those
really
players
good.
below him.
Plus, I don't
Soft
think
dive
like
has
you
to
know
come through first. Enzo and
the
Venom going
lower rank
and
players will
lower. It
target
gets
him or try to
out
kill
of
him
the
as
game.
fast.
Have a
And
little
he's
bit of a
hey,
lull before
all
he stabilizes
people need to
back
realize
again.
the objective of this game is not to get the most kills or do all this stuff. No, the objective of the game is depends on the game mode, but to play the objective. If you stall the cart as long as you can and you have like 2 kills and 8 deaths, but you full hold, I mean, hey, you full hold still.
But they don't really have the numbers to defend the Sharks, so Ken is just dogpiled on.
Navix is going to have Strangling Prison too. Granted, Melee with the CC immunity of Rage of Ultron will be able to dodge it. And they do have Soul Resurgence to try and push forward aggressively. But Tanuki needs to be the thing that comes through with these picks. Supernova, Rage of Ultron is there.
Like, there's a lot of times where we're watching pro games
you can fully go for the hit,
and like the other team will have like 16 kills and 2 deaths, and the other team might be like two kills and like 5 deaths, but they won because like, you know, half of the game because they're just stalling.
Into the invisible boundary. Polly from far away looks to try and move after that Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. Should be easily burned on through by the ultimate of Tanuki. Static emplacements, they do suffer against what Tanuki brings to the table. Good LOS play here from the Human Torch, avoiding most of what Finzy's bringing. And now Tanuki gets ready to try and activate the dive around the back end. Has already softened them on up. They need to get onto Dredro right now, but the Soul Resurgence comes out at just the right moment. A quick grab onto the Wolverine. He's sent down for nap time. Fire doesn't get anything off the back of that Eye of Agamotto, but that's because most of their targets have already been eviscerated.
VIRTUS.PRO
Okay. What does LOS play? LOS means line of sight.
Polly is off of the Wolverine, and Citadel Gaming now are going to look to use Melee
basically
on that Punisher and just try and melt down
being able to see someone.
Force VIRTUS.PRO into losing players early off of the damage boost pocket from that Punisher. Bought up Final Judgment, bought up Fate of Both Worlds, pop the 2 of them together and walk forward.
Melee are going to have to break down these walls as you there. That's one of the primary uses of the Punisher up against the group, but Never So Much already has the Strangling Prison good to go. Could be blocked by the erased shields.
AoE means area of effect. It's like
this constant turning
abilities that do damage to everyone.
Cannot be underestimated. Final Judgment. In the back
like a Moon Knight ult. A Moon Knight ult is a big circle that does big AoE damage.
They still think it's winnable for Melio, and so avoids the incoming CC. And Fincy can't escape into the invisible boundary.
Or like Lucio in Overwatch. Yeah, Lucio in Overwatch has a big AoE healing.
And they absolutely dug in their claws.
Here's the crucial thing as well for Citadel. That was Mantis, Luna, Punisher. It was not Phoenix or Magneto. They've got the Wombo combo. And it's all going to be about VIRTUS.PRO not getting hit by it. They have to burn the End Song Inferno when it's up in the sky.
Maybe you could bait it out here. Using the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, you know how the Phoenixes react to these particular instances. Tanuki above it all, looked in towards the back line, and the Soul Resurgence is so far away, and Alex has been taken out elsewhere. Fincy rewarded for their aggression.
Oh, there's so many 1v1s going on, but they're losing.
And yeah, there's punishment for it. It might be resurrectable. I think they're out of range of the BRB because they were an attacker. Spawn Melee around the outside, gonna try and burn through Fincy. Draws out the adjudicating shotgun, sees the Vanguards approach, but looks towards the
nah, this is definitely VIRTUS.PRO's map, and I'm so glad VIRTUS.PRO won because I didn't want to see a 2-0.
Even his quest for justice is not strong.
Nice. The old man squad still got it, bro. The old man squad still got it. They're showing you that even if you're in a retirement home chat, they still got the skills. Good shit.
Because you know he doesn't have Final Judgment for the CC immunity. He has no choice but to try and break LOS of it by
trust me, said
and wouldn't you know it,
Citadel was gonna 4-0. They're not 4-0ing.
In Tethers up so that the Punisher gets fully slowed and is forced to walk directly into that ammo. Massive plays from VIRTUS.PRO as they just had so much coordination, being able to hold the space and really also going after that storm, just weakening Citadel Gaming's damage output so that things like the Final Judgment just...
Fate also said Citadel with 3-0 VP yesterday. Damn.
Threat assessment from VIRTUS.PRO also super
a lot of people are saying that VIRTUS.PRO is like, hey.
Sublimely. I don't think I saw anyone even get caught by a Feral Leaper. If they were, it was instantly
oh snap. Yeah, you can't.
They didn't even get to cast
that.
it.
Read it as a link. Yeah. What was the original squad of VIRTUS.PRO in the first season? Has the roster changed? No, this is the same team.
I believe 97%. to the first last stand and used it for a 50% ultimate charge.
Fi is so disgusting as well, and how he kind of plays Doctor Strange like Psylocke. Like every time I see Fi on the Doctor Strange, I'm like, what's he doing over there?
I might not have stealth or dashes, but I do have an expanded health pool, which means that I can absorb plenty of hits and still go for your back line. Finzi too had absolute aura in that last fight, where we actually see the Feast of the Abyss coming through from Citadel side, and he just pops Diamond Form and hovers over where the Venom's gonna pop up, waiting for him to pop up from the grind so he can get the Carbon Crush connection.
Go on, take a bite. I dare you.
Damn.
Break all your teeth on my Diamond Form. Melio did identify the opening.
Is the team that loses will be eliminated?
No.
All these teams are already making it to the grand finals. Sorry, not the grand finals. The LAN tournament in Atlanta for $1 million.
Of the overall planning of Citadel.
But
yeah, remove the storm. Remove
they're
the
fighting
so if you have
for
$250,000. Are going to be able to heal the team fully without everyone
a million.
Literally just being burned up entirely. It forces to that Punisher to
basically, chat, we're watching whoever gets who's the best team in EMEA. If they win, the first place team wins $70,000. And I think better seeding probably for the grand finals in Atlanta, the LAN. And second place gets $35,000.
Next, and that's exactly what we'll be doing after this break.
Yeah.
Well, hello once again, Rivals. My name is Diatonic, and I've got your after-action report for the second week of the Marvel Rivals Ignite Asia Group Stage.
If you guys are interested in Asia, this is Asia.
For week 2, taking on Down Payment in the opening match. Z10 looked clean on map 1, but Down Payment would claw their way to a reverse sweep, defeating Z10 2-1. Incipients were still on the hunt for their first group stage win as they took on U-Winks next, and they'd get themselves on the board with a big 2-0 win here. Rounding out this first day
I think we already know what Asia teams are playing, right?
Stage 1 champs Reject and the newly rebuilt Gen G.
No, Hogs did not make it to Oceania. I think they lost in the semifinals.
As they take the series in a close 2-1 showdown. The second day of week 2 started off,
and I think Gen G won Asia actually.
Their first group stage win.
You could just go here, look. Tournament, bang.
Picked up some steam here in week 2 as they won their second game of the week in a close 2-1 bout. Down Payment also continued their winning streak, taking their third win in a row over Rocket University in a big 2-0 sweep. Onside Gaming looked to
so far the people for the tournament chat.
Well,
Crazy Raccoons for Asia.
And in the final day 2 matchup, Zero Tenacity went head-to-head with
and
the Vietnamese squad OEG.
MRIG, I don't know what the Reject. Reject. And you have a few ex-Overwatch players here too. Reject, you have the names that I at least notice is Gargoyle and Piggy. I don't know anyone else. I don't know if they're ex-Overwatch League players, but Gargoyle, Piggy. Then you have the two China teams, OUG, and also Iconics, is that how you say their name? And then you also have Navi, VIRTUS.PRO, and Citadel, and then we don't know the NA teams yet. The NA teams are Thursday to Sunday. We're gonna know what NA teams make it next week. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna be watching those games.
And would complete a perfect run through the group stage with yet another 2-0 win. And finally, the group stage would close with Gen G taking on OEG.
Yeah, we're streaming the NA games. The NA games are gonna be a lot of fun.
After 2 weeks of group stage action,
Also, Big Boy, I'm pretty sure they might add another band.
Crazy Raccoon, XOXO01, Onside Gaming,
I think
and
this is
Incipients advanced to the playoffs. And from Group B, Reject,
the playoffs
Gen
already
G,
happened. I don't know why they're showing this.
Tenacity all make it through. The competition in the Asia region is looking hotter than ever, with only the top 2 teams qualifying for the Grand Finals LAN tournament later this year. Well, that's all for now, Rivals. I hope you caught your breath because we're about to dive right back in. Get ready to ignite the battle.
I like those little halftime shows, but to be honest with you, it's not that guy's fault, but I think the information is irrelevant because the Asia's already done. Yo, what's up, Dad? How you doing? How you doing? EMEA stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. That's that region. And Moody Blues, appreciate the massive Prime sub. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, Dad? We don't know what teams made it, chat, to land yet for NA. But today we are watching the playoffs for the bracket.
Strike
for
back
the
against Citadel on Midtown with a full hold after a full completion. Looking like a different beast.
All's well, and you? I am chilling, Dad. I'm chilling.
Yeah, that storm ban really did hurt Citadel when it came to trying to play around things like that Punisher composition. So too did the group ban as well, so that they didn't have Strangling Prison to be able to stack up the supernovas coming on through from Tanuki on that torch, which just meant that when the ultimates came on for VIRTUS.PRO, just had the means of finding the eliminations, but also sustaining own Citadel's aggression.
Good, man.
Citadel, though, now get the opportunity to take us to a map of choice.
Big Boy Gamer, appreciate my 2 months. Who's kicking ass? Tie game right now. Yo, Dad, do you want to come over tomorrow and put the stuff together? That's in the garage or not?
Before the other side gets a double ban.
Are you free tomorrow?
All right, might be quite the important distinction here. Citadel, they had to choose a Convergence map, Mox. It's the only map type left in our pool before it gets reset, heading into map number 4 for our loser. And Central Park is going to be the call. During the break, I think you called this one in advance.
Yes, and there goes the
What the hell does I? What
surprises
the
that?
fuck?
So
What a snitch!
be securing it for themselves. However, this does mean that VIRTUS.PRO are likely going to be able to secure themselves a one-sided Jeff. Central Park is a very good map for Jeff when it comes to those environmental hazards on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The Starlord's going to be removed from the pool, which means that things like the Ultron, the Torch, a Starlord of your own, and Jeff is a little bit safer too, since you don't have to worry about Galactic Legend tracking you down when you're in the ground.
Nah,
yeah,
bro.
Snitches
get stitches, bro.
Who is under the ground because
where are my mods, bro? Mods, go beat that guy up.
The area of effect of
go beat that guy up. Hold on, let me get something.
Gaming now with a
are you playing with no more tomorrow? No, I think we're gonna have to reschedule that.
To shut down symbolic shenanigans, given how tight this map is.
Yeah, we've still got Venom in play, we've still got Adam in play, Luna as well. Mag's actually going to be removed as well, so they can't use things like the Bulwark on the Jeff when he's using the It's Jeff, which means that Citadel Gaming are going to have an easier time being able to handle those ultimates coming through. Plus, if they want to go for something like a Human Torch angle, they don't have to worry about Meteor M being able to absorb all of those cyclones, as Doctor Strange is going to be removed from VIRTUS.PRO's side, so that if those fights go to the brawl potentials on the objective, Citadel have the opportunity for reinforcements. VIRTUS.PRO, if they want to come back in quickly, have to go for something a little bit off meta instead.
Wait, am I seeing opposite day bans today? Are Citadel about to do the 4 Vanguard bans? Well, let me copy your homework, VIRTUS.PRO. Yeah, but I got an F. No. No, I'd win if I used this homework. Last ban now for Citadel.
Oh, hey, there you go. Someone was wondering why they don't ban Doctor Strange. They just banned Strange. They banned 3 tanks in Ultron.
Means less pocket up in the air.
Is Jeff the only player, only character that can complain? No.
Strategist lines plus the 2/2/2 with the Luna and the Invis.
They're just playing Jeff because Jeff is a really good character.
Which you're more than happy having the confidence to be able to deal with those Venom dives coming on through. As the Captain America, I think, is going to be more of a problem, to be entirely honest, because it means that VIRTUS.PRO can literally just send one singular Captain America to occupy the attention of Citadel Gaming's entire backline.
All right, Inviswoman on the docket. The last ban here for the side of VP. They're going to get rid of the Winter Soldier. Interesting here. Going to mean for a lot less control on that Venom, potentially. Or
sounds good, Dad.
Cap.
Yeah, better for the Cap. Also means that if Sparker wants to go for the Psylocke, you don't have to worry about things like the Bionic Hook being able to grab you out of position. Phi 2 on the Starlord doesn't have to worry about being grounded by connections from the Tainted Voltage, of which Bucky now gets 2 charges from. Plus, the Trooper's Fist now also applying that Earthbound debuff too. Winter Soldier really is one of the best counterplays to anything flyer-shaped.
Yeah, the grounding from a Tainted Voltage would kind of go crazy. But it does maybe telegraph that there is the intention to play this flyer composition, so maybe you could preemptively move over to something like a Hela or a Punisher to try and match them in the air. Maybe you could even try and go for the aerial duel.
Up to you, Dad. Does he want to finish the lights? He can if he wants.
Usage of the Human Torch.
Yeah, I feel like aerial might be better than something like a Hela.
Up to you, Dad.
We just saw 4. being flashed coming on through, and if or does indeed come out into the mix, then we're going to be seeing a lot of dive potential, but also a lot of brawl potential. As VIRTUS.PRO are going to be starting off in that defense, going to be using that Venom, putting pressure onto Citadel Gaming's approach, and then allowing all of that attention to set up more space for both the Starlord and the Psylocke when Sparker and Fi want to deal the damage.
Okay, Tanuki going to be playing on the Storm here as a single duelist, and now here comes the collapse on the back line. Wow, the Venom, the Star-Lord, and the Captain America. Yeah, the
damage boost, and Adam letting you just walk forward with Soulbind and establish yourself on point. VIRTUS.PRO now, because they went for that dive on Citadel Gaming's approach, might have lost some major presence on the objective itself, which is really bad for the dive, because now they have to go directly into the ammo.
Yep, now we have to try and meet the Emma where she's at. Fincy's already fallen low. Melio's fallen down, but of course can self-resurrect. And Fi back down again. Meets a huge amount of damage is gone. Sparker can't stand up to the justice dispensed by the Adam Warlock. The perfect human takes
They're running the animal back, the Animal Crossing backline, bro.
They're going to have to try and make a re-engagement happen here or cede away the entirety of the point. It's going to be Fincy putting his life on the line for this one and just dodges away. I think may have actually impacted Ratatoska in midair and so just bailed.
So there's your context for the Doctor Strange ban, because remember, Citadel took the Doctor Strange out of the pool, so they went for a composition which I don't think is going to continue. I think if they lose one fight, they're probably either just going to use their ultimates or hold off on the ultimates to get the 50% charge. Soulbind into a small room that you fortify with Groot so that VIRTUS.PRO can't find any follow-up from the space created, and then you're still putting pressure on the dive because there's Brawl Time for now.
What polyoltin? That's my cue right now. It might have been deflected by Fincy.
It's a rat, bro. Sorry, my bad. Squirrel, whatever it's called.
Out comes a big eat from Jay3, but the follow-up's going to be there to try and take him out there. Thor, and now Jay3 back on the field, utilizing the BRB, the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier here from VIRTUS.PRO. They are investing so heavily to try and win this first fight because they need to re-establish their dive angles and control the space. And so it's going to be a main impediment to that with access to the Carbon Crush. Maybe trying to shut down. Oh no, a miss onto Sparker. A great dodge away from the Shinobi. And VIRTUS.PRO are going to be able to lock down these angles now.
Yeah, and they got Melio as well coming on through, so no Karmic Revival cast. Tanuki is likely going to use Hurricane just to put the pressure onto VIRTUS.PRO and maybe force them to have to just peel off the Storm, allowing Citadel to walk on forward, because Fire's on that off angle. They know he's there. Polly's been sending damages coming on through from that group, plus the healing direction from Jidro gives away the Star's position, but Galactic Legend is still going to be able to force Ridiculous regardless.
Fincy down, unresurrectable. Seems like the BRB was not in range where Fincy fell on down. Now comes the Galactic Legend looking towards the back.
He's a good kitty.
Counter in the form of a Sonic Seduction, but the follow-up isn't there. Even with the pull there after, they just did not have the weaponry to try and look at that range. Melio must have been looking elsewhere.
And they used Soulbind too, which means the Feast of the Abyss and then Sparker with that follow-up might be able to find the fix. This time though, Melio does have that cocoon. He's going to go for the self-res. Everyone was busy looking.
Damn! Big res, but you got to heal everyone.
But he trades his life in the meantime, and Jidro sees dollar signs for where everyone got spawned back up, casts the It's Jeff and Man just to find the Groot.
Oh, the
healing point. Wait, oh, never mind, actually. I should probably reset.
I was going to say, wait, the Groot still stayed, but
sometimes
never mind.
Groot can, you know, come through with those instructions to build up.
Are you back?
On the other side of the map, and I think, yeah, Polly just doesn't want to stack himself out. They have to play stack together, too, because Spark of the Dance of the Butterflies is going to be looking to force the invisible boundary early.
Tanuki, Omega
what were you saying?
In the back pocket, just looking for the ideal time to use it, but is going to be constantly worried about Sparker using the Dance of the Butterflies. Melio already down. No chance for self-revival. Ken instantly loses out on the ultimates. Ruinous for Citadel. That's a huge sustainability tool off the table.
Yeah,
that's a tilter.
I don't know. They used Invis Boundary after
that's
Melio
a tilter.
had already fallen, and then Ken is so low off of the dash damage that he actually gets caught in the animation before it can get built around him, which means it's a full cancellation, not a 50% reset charge. VIRTUS.PRO still holding on to these angles too. Once again, going to put pressure on the Adam, and they find the pick before Soul Resurgence comes through this time.
Oh my goodness, they're just striking so hard, so fast. Citadel are unprepared for this level of aggression. Fincy used the freedom charge to sustain themselves, but it means that Fire is up here and is feeling real confident to try and take some less than well-insured investigations, just making these engagements so difficult to deal with.
Okay, the Atom is gone. The Torch comes up to the mix. Tanuki now going to be moving on over to get that pocket from the Ultron, but flying with
I'm
the
sorry, I'm playing with
Galactic
my
Legends
cat,
is
chat.
gonna be able to keep
This cat's too
both
cute
those
right now.
flyers under pressure. The second that they move away from the rooftops, it's a little bit of a bait to just push the Galactic Legends out early, but unfortunately, Fi's still got all of the movement and space to play off of and finds the picks regardless. Citadel at least made it fast, and they've still got a minute and a half to play with, but so too do VIRTUS.PRO have ultimates.
Yeah,
They
there's
know
a best
that
of
they're not
7.
gonna make a push to the objective with Enza's ultimate, and so they're lying in wait with Sparker and Nevix to combine Feast of the
Ooh,
Abyss
they're
and
all
down to the
waiting for them to
butterflies.
run in
CC
main, and then they're
from
all
the
gonna
Emma.
like just jump them.
This is the Abyss.
Jumping the back line.
Soon onto the back line. Can they dodge away in time? Inside
Nah,
of the
they didn't
spawn,
get-
and the metallic bulwark
they didn't
gives
get
the other.
anything there,
Nevix gonna have
damn.
trouble disengaging, and even more so
Said
while
that was a
Carl
good
Crush
counterplay
still
by
has
Citadel,
himself a
not
shot
dying
with
there
him.
and
The damage is
getting
finally
the
going
pick.
over. Outside
There's
the
a
range of
BB boy.
BRB as well, so it's going to be a long respawn, but a quick return for Nevix.
Tanuki still doesn't have control of the space though, which means that they have to clear the Psylocke before the Human Torch can come into the mix. Out comes Rage of Ultron paired with Sonic Seduction so that Citadel can finally make a move
Last
forward.
fight, and they
Just
cat first pretty
disengaged, and Citadel
fast.
still have so much distance to go.
Down on Fincy, back is Fincy. The BRB will serve them here. So down to a butterfly.
Ooh.
But it does mean that only Tanuki is inside of the range. And so they're going to be a primary victim of that one. In comes the Big E. Enzo waiting. And so too is Melio. Even with the healing pool that Drudro had available, is
Oh my god,
unsustained
damn,
through
you
here.
jumped that high?
Overtime on the horizon now.
Who's behind? Citadel currently occupied.
It was Fi on the TP. He used his rocket network.
Oh no, someone
What's up,
is still
Cargo?
behind. Finzy's going to be dropping from the rooftops too. Supernova and Meteor Am is going to be what Citadel Gaming have to bank their hopes on.
You know, I think everyone in EMEA thinks VIRTUS.PRO is actually the weakest team. I would like to see them win. I know Citadel is a very strong team, but like Navi said that Citadel was going to 4-0 VIRTUS.PRO. I think Citadel was going to win against VIRTUS.PRO. I don't know the score, but I hope VIRTUS.PRO does, like, you know, take them pretty far. Jay, does Citadel have an advantage for being the winner's bracket? No.
They need to get up close and personal. The ult has to be massive from Polly, but it doesn't quite connect. The damage boost, the breakpoints, they're not really there. In comes the Venom once again to keep this one contested. Fight getting
I
up
don't think
close
so.
and personal.
Maybe-
The Abyss is
no.
good. Ken's fallen down, and Polly will stand alone up against the world. It's a familiar time for Eric Lenscher as he stood once alone. For
wait a minute.
Kind, so too will he stand alone for Citadel. A lone tower amongst the ruins. VIRTUS.PRO will prowl.
VIRTUS.PRO just able to hold so close. As Citadel spawn on second makes up for all of the time that they lost on first.
Good shit,
With
good
Citadel
shit.
making
Yeah,
that
hope,
Doctor
bro.
Strange
I hope
banner, making the Atom and the
VIRTUS.PRO
Storm
does go
with
pretty
that
far.
damage boost and Soulbind walking onto the point itself. Now, though, VIRTUS.PRO
What round
have
of the
to
EMEA
attack
tourney is this?
with a
This is grand
composition that,
finals.
Again, can
Says
get
it
scouted
right here.
and
Grand
cleared
finals.
before it can fully find its feet on that point, and Citadel will have one-sided strange advantage if they need to call reinforcements in. This defense is going to be better equipped than their offense.
That much is for certain for VIRTUS.PRO, though. When they can all move so fast, Citadel Gaming's backline is going to have to be with their head on an absolute swivel. They could evaporate in a second.
Does C9 play
You can
Marvel
say
Rivals?
as well,
No.
Citadel, they're trying to figure out what exactly they want to go for. They had the Mantis open if they wanted to, but they're going to go for the long-term sustainability.
Damn,
of
look at the
Luna,
difference in
the Atom,
record.
and the Invis. So you get the Luna and Atom
Shit.
Karma team up, which means that if Alex gets dove upon, Venom just being a head hitbox means that Alex should be able to keep himself relatively topped on up. Plus, you still apply the Soulbind too, to be able to survive this first fight when VIRTUS.PRO try and push you. If the dive is just a big old bait and switch for them to grab space instead of picks.
For Light and Shadow Karma, it could be an imperative here for the survivability of that backline to set up for a dive.
Tanuki too is set up for the counter dive. He's on the Wolverine. Nevix and Finzy are going to have a rough time of it. As already, Nevix has to be careful that he doesn't feed too much charge over to Enzo. VIRTUS.PRO aren't going to be going for main.
Is
They're
100
looking
Thieves
for a
and
dive
Sentinels
setup,
are
and
the
Fi's
only
already
well-known
got an angle
orgs
on the
and
back line.
rivals?
Fi reveals himself a little bit of momentary distraction.
No,
making
I think
space.
VIRTUS.PRO and
Just
Citadel
firing
Gaming and
noise at the
Navi are all
moment. Already down
really
to
big
half
orgs in
HP as
EU,
for
are they
life to
not?
themselves up. And Fi's not really
I think
committing here.
100
Forcing
Thieves
someone to come
and
in try
Sentinels are
deal
just
with
big
him, and
NA
Drudro
orgs.
joining on this angle, but given enough time for Sparker to get up close, where those Sonic crossbows can really start doing the damage.
Citadel, though, still holding onto that soulbind. The fact that Invis can get the pierce onto everybody.
Oh, FlyQuest too? FlyQuest is a really big known word.
Trust his strategists to keep him alive without burning that resource, and takes Finzi down. Finzi will get revived with the
Genji in Asia as well, yeah. Crazy Raccoons. Crazy Raccoons has a crazy fucking Overwatch team.
Is kept safe from all
I don't know too much about Reject.
Yeah, just making it impossible. Look at the move here from Fi, though, going over onto a Phoenix, knowing that accruing these sparks could be the key to turning it around. And while the identification was good, alongside the dance of the butterflies, there just is not the time. Melio forced to just stare into the eyes of their oppressors, and so there's going to be no chance for a revival. Instead, it's going to be about the portal.
That's not good. They won the team fight, but they didn't even get a tick.
Bodybomb not going to come on through.
They were distracted.
Down on the point, not going to have access to that Luna. Fire's getting in close and personal. Quick cancel, quick kick, and into the
FaZe
side
was
they
well
go.
known. No,
Alex
that's
is
not
there with
FaZe.
the daggers of the
Chad, that's not
turnaround.
FaZe as in the
First
FaZe
hit out
clan,
just yet.
the old Call of Duty
An early
teams.
grab,
No.
and that's gonna be two enemies spit on outside
Those
press
people
themselves
are,
for the privilege
you know,
of a
streaming
guaranteed
IRL and
frag.
scamming
Enzo
people or
believes
something.
it's winnable, so a turnaround
That was
imperative. Finzi dodged away
FPHASE.
from the incoming damage, and also dodged away from being mind controlled as well. Tanuki can't quite convert, and for Citadel Gaming, this one's over.
Remember, it's Jeff getting a pick on Adam. Doesn't let you go into the cocoon. Melio was so close to Comic and gets caught by the Jeff feed and taken off of the map. And Citadel Gaming's chances of holding on first get taken off of the map alongside it. We're over now to full anti-dive measures. Tanuki on the Namor, Enzo the Hulk to have the Gamma Monstro. Is VIRTUS.PRO already running at Citadel Gaming, trying to hold on to as much space as they possibly can. Split the team by more objective control and more angles for both your Phoenix and your Psylocke Captain America when they want to put the pressure on the back line.
Dealing with that Hulk can be difficult, but dealing with a Feast of the Abyss even more so. Great usage of a Bulwark. Melia once again going to have to contemplate the Cocoon revive. And inside of a Fate of Both Thoughts might find themselves safe here, but still Citadel Gaming having to spend so much to get themselves a touch of stability. Sparker looks above it all and now slashes on in. Wants to try and isolate Ken within the area of effect, but still the sharing out, the democratization of the pain is good for Citadel Gaming. Saipe draws on through with the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, and Drigo gets himself two. Instantly flattened under the biomass of Giganto. The wrath of a
I do like Citadel's team comp. Ooh, but they are getting deleted. Bro, VIRTUS.PRO might take the lead.
Gonna try and do it as a pair, but they can't quite connect.
VIRTUS.PRO might actually take the lead.
It's the souls that Citadel Gaming can start to regroup. There's one more fight, but they've got the Karmic Revival off at the back of it, and VIRTUS.PRO don't have ultimates right now. Feast of the Abyss potentially.
Finzi's locked in, bro. He's locked in.
Has already burned that self-res, so if Sparker can find the pick onto the Adam on the walk-up, VIRTUS.PRO are in such a good position to take Central Park.
Vinci already in towards the back, trying to force out Melia. Knows like Karmic Revival could be absolutely imperative towards this one. And Citadel Gaming got temporary control of the cart, and there's a very angry Hulk that could try and deal with this one. Sparker double dash for a disengage, and Enzo continues to throw out the damage. Polly needs for support in the back, and they're going to focus in all their fire upon Polly, but the healing is there, and the resurrections too.
Damn, Sparker, bro. Sparker is fucking popping off.
It's not going to be enough. Alex has to reinforce. A Fate of Both Worlds decided right here and now as Enzo takes to the battlegrounds. Might well be able to try and interrupt this as Fi looks towards the back. The Fate of Both Worlds is over. The time of the Phoenix has begun. The end song.
No, I think this is GG's.
Central Park, and the echo off the ramparts of the castle will sting in the ears of Citadel. Ken is down via Finzi. As Enzo
This might be
dances
GG.
forward.
Saipe has ult as
Finzi's
well.
already done all that he needs to, and a one-person soulbind is just a trickle of healing, but the trickle's met by a flood of bare blood and bare yells.
Damn! VIRTUS.PRO taking the lead over
Captain
Citadel.
America tries to
And people are
treading water
and
until
they
the
thought
rest
that
of your
VIRTUS.PRO was
players
gonna lose
are no
4-0.
longer present. And that's going to be a 2-1 scoreline for VIRTUS.PRO, who let the Adam Warlock through. But as we saw,
Damn, the aura, chat. The aura. The aura. Look at that. Oh.
Dive was so well formulated. They scouted, they saw the
Oh.
land, they saw that Citadel were going to stack themselves into those small rooms rooms, the back rooms.
43, 42 and 3, 42 and 3, 32 and 3, 36 and 4.
Heal of the Guardian Shield, as well as the slow impact when VIRTUS.PRO tried to go from the dive from main.
Jesus.
And they swapped to the perfect thing which would punish the fact that Citadel was so stacked. That being the Phoenix, who is not yet nerfed. We have not moved to season 4.5, which means all of the melee animation cancels are still present. And Psylocke, this is not even Psylocke buffed. This is just Sparker.
This is not even Psylocke buffed.
Perfectly to find the most amount of damage with every single one of those dashes.
Damn.
VIRTUS.PRO really out here like, damn, you forgot with the goats, huh? We are still those guys, apparently. Great identification, as you said, from Fi, of where you could really try and open something up. Yeah, this was real cruel to make Melio and Polly contemplate their fate for a couple of moments longer.
It's so smart too, because actually when you're there from Jojo's POV, this here is the,
Sparker,
the Council of the Carnival with the Dance of the Butterflies.
Sparker is making Nerf Psylocke work.
That Jeff is in the ground getting absolutely harassed by the ammo, who's trying to just take him out as quickly as possible. But he set up the speed bubble so that he hops into
They're not really giving nerfs, bro. They didn't like kill the character. The character is still good at like
she can take him out of his
killing
rescue.
Still, like especially low health targets.
So close and could have meant that Citadel held on to
like they nerfed her right click
and clear out the dives.
And they nerfed her invisibility from like 3 seconds to 2 seconds. I still think it's still pretty good.
I mean, think about how long
they didn't touch her left click
well.
damage.
They essentially just got like insta-gibbed on first for defense. They went for their first dive, got hit by the goddess boost, kind of just got absolutely pantsed.
It's like what they did with
They instantly lost Fi twice, and their dive tanks, their dive vanguards just
they did it with another character. They nerfed her kit, but then they're buffing her ult.
This is a very dangerous circumstance.
I still think it's going to be good.
From any of our maps to go back to now, so maybe Hell's Heaven come for pickers on the horizon after this break.
Yeah, I think they're trying to like make it better. Because if you make a character's kit too powerful and make her ult make the character's ult too powerful, then it's gonna be fucking broken. But if you nerf her overall kit and then buff her ult, then it's like, I think that's kind of balanced. Or you buff their kit but then nerf the ult, like vice versa. You can't have them both broken, I think. I do think Psylocke was too much of an issue, and they did nerf Psylocke. You don't see a lot of Psylocke anymore, but some teams can make it work. I still think it's pretty good.
Judge, jury, executioner.
Bucky has a lot of people are saying nerf Bucky, but Bucky actually has a horrible win rate. He's always a negative win rate. Give me 2 seconds, chat. Something was delivered outside, and I don't want someone to steal it off my patio. Give me 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Already got it? You better fucking not. I have a camera, bro. Listen. I knew you guys wouldn't go outside and steal this. Because... you wouldn't go outside and steal this because this is what I ordered. A toilet paper holder stand.
For Citadel, not looking like they're going to be returning to the championship.
I don't think you want to steal that.
Of EMEA, down 2-1 against VIRTUS.PRO, and the last two maps have been VIRTUS.PRO really dominating how these engagements happen. They are always winning the role.
I need to put my toilet paper on something. I don't have. I don't want to drill holes in the wall.
On second, when they were defending Central Park, we did just get to see them tightening up all of those spaces.
Chat, it's all about min-maxing, bro. I gotta shit faster so I can come back to stream faster.
Eventually, keyword being eventually, able to walk out from spawn onto the objective. The time had burnt down too low. The ultimates that they'd been forced to part with too far for them to be able to turn the fight around into their favor. Because now we get to go all the way back into all of our other map types. Is it going to be Domination? Domination has long been a map type that VIRTUS.PRO have struggled into, but recently we've seen them really tightening up on this mode, as well as the ban drafts that is allowing them to play so many things that they've tried before to its actual potential. The Human Torch composition has been looking like a charm. We've got to see Hulk coming through from them, as well as the Jeff compositions, something which normally they've fallen prey to. They've now actually added to their strength pool too.
Yeah, like, VIRTUS.PRO are starting to round out as a team. Like, at least round out as a team in Ignite. We consider them like the perfect beast in MRC. With mirrored bans, where they were often able to play a mirror composition to the enemy team, they were a very good front-to-back team. Like, they were always focusing first on the Vanguards and working with their way back from there.
People in Miami will take anything,
they're starting to really leverage the dives on the backline. And as I said, win those roles for initiative, being able to control when and where the fights were happening, which has made them a lot more rounded as a team, having access to these dives and maybe being better. There it is, Hell 7. Now this is Citadel Gaming's safe space.
Yeah, especially if we see the Black Panther come on through.
Oh, I would love to see the Black Panther.
When I was thinking, do Citadel take us to Hell's Heaven?
Okay, chat, while we watch this, you guys are going to see Jay3 build something.
Ultron especially, but Human
Where's the
Torch
instructions?
and Star-Lord also make it very, very hard for that Black Panther to be able to find value. As VIRTUS.PRO will be saving that ammo, which has been another turning point for this team. It means that they don't have to use all of their bans against Poly and can look to target out other strengths of the composition, as there goes one strength. Star-Lord taken away from Sparker.
I give up.
Yep, Star-Lord, an absolute priority to remove, especially when you want to play that Ultron. We saw some real struggles on Warrior Falls of being into T'Challa, where Alex was getting consistently hunted down by the Star-Lord.
I do expect
KJC99B. Appreciate the massive new tier 1 sub, my friend.
Second save slot coming on through, as VIRTUS.PRO will be removing that Star-Lord, which means that the Ultron doesn't have a Star-Lord opportunity to pocket. Also means if Fight does decide to go for the Human Torch, he's going to be able to have a much easier
Excuse me, Boba, are you gonna help me?
We can see that the Psylocke now has been removed too. So Citadel might well be drafting a fire composition, or they could be going for the 2-2-2 dive composition with both the Rocket and the Ultron really struggling into the Psylocke's mobility. And the fact that she can literally just use her ultimate to single take you down, even through something like a Rage of Ultron ultimate.
I think it's the first time this season we've seen a one-sided Psylocke priority. We've seen Psylocke bans, we've seen Psylocke protects, but never one after the other as far as I can remember. VIRTUS.PRO now have their last ban on the table. Mantis still available, Luna still available, for Captain America taken away from Poly.
I mean, you kind of have to. It wouldn't just be Psylocke, it would be Psylocke and Cap with Luna and Ultron Pocket on Hell's Heaven, which if you lose a single one of these fights, you always have to be looking up into those skies to figure out whether there's a Cap or a Venom looking down at you. Plus, Emma is going to have an easier time of dealing with the Venom than the Captain America. So too will the backline, given the fact that Venom is a hitbox. And Captain America has the ability to bounce back projectiles, so all of the CC from the Luna can get reflected right back at you.
Poly? For real? I mean, we saw a little bit of it on Celestial Husk yesterday, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And it certainly would fit the ethos of the undivables.
It also means that they're going to have a lot of potential staying power within those fights too, because the
I'm using the wrong screw. See, chat, this is why you need fucking directions.
Additional HP. to both
Yo,
the Angela
Raccoon
and everybody else
what a name.
inside
Appreciate the
that
massive prime sub, my
5-2.
friend.
So it
Way to
means
get
that
this
you
up.
can sort of actually weave that cooldown in and out
Ah,
of
shit,
uptime
my chat,
between
the
your
fucking
strategist
screw's
ultimates
stuck.
to keep the fight going, as opposed to some other dive compositions where you have to be in and out much more succinctly.
Yeah, just popping in and out. Maybe pop out with someone in your arms, you know. Take a goodie bag for the rest of the class to share.
I mean, it's not really going to be shared if it's melted to smithereens if we head over to Super Soldier Factory, and the lava pit is directly to the left side of Point.
Oh, that is a concern that needs to be held here. We'll see if Jojo sticks on the... Oh, it's real.
They played it
This is the
yesterday,
wrong
actually,
screw.
with Tanuki on the magic, as well as that Doctor Strange, so we're going to be able to see the chain team up, which means that either strategists can be chained together or vanguards can be chained together, and that, wait a minute, that could be a great combo for an Assassin's Lunge coming on through from an Angela.
Could well be. Going for the instant mugging. There's the purple coming through and the grab counter onto Enzo. Tanuki in the back has already forced on out the soul bond and has gone too far now. So the right clicks from Sparker easily carve through the flesh of the Dark Child. No Eldritch Whirl to save themselves, nor Stepping Disc either. Ken is taken down, and while Citadel Gaming are going to have a rear guard maneuver here to try and grab themselves a first control. Finz has already stepped up to the plate, and it's not a huge amount of charge on the beam, but you still got to worry about how much DPS this Emma can pump out.
I mean, this Groot 2 is going to be able to find the isolation, the Doctor Strange split from his backline, which means that VIRTUS.PRO will be able to establish themselves onto that point first fully, and now they're going to have so much more space to be able to clear where that magic is going to be coming on from. As Tanuki is going to be relying on a lot of his cooldowns to actually bring him in close enough to start getting the damage done.
All right, Tanuki.
Okay, yeah, no, we're off of it. I was gonna say, there's no way. That's the composition you can keep if you win the first fight. If you lose the first fight, immediate swap. Melia goes over to the Psylocke, Tanuki over to the Phoenix. So the Phoenix is going to have off-angle pressure. Melia is going to have more pressure on the flying component of Phi, who doesn't have that Ultron pocket.
Angelic Descent already used here, and Polly found themselves alone. Enzo was there, yes, but the healing couldn't be brought on over due to walls being erected behind them, blocking off Ken's healing globules from the repair mode of his weapon. Enzo doing his best to dodge out all of the damage here, but Nevix is waiting on the other side.
Bro, Virtus, I did not know, bro, there's no way.
A little bit of damage too, as well as clearing out where Citadel Gaming could be holding themselves up. Both the Phoenix and the Psylocke are going to be looking for different angles to peek out from, which means that VIRTUS.PRO have to clear the two of them. And Sonic Inferno is coming real close. Triangling Prison's already in play, and that just sets VIRTUS.PRO up for a full swing. Finzi with the diamond form is going to get the spinning kick into the Groot walls too. Amplified damage. Citadel have no means of standing up to it.
Oh, Coach Salah needs to already have prepped a speech to get the team back together after this. This is their comfort map. This is their safe space. I think I used the wrong screw. This is where VIRTUS.PRO is supposed to be weakest. And yet Citadel Gaming are looking like they can't manage to find anything thus far.
Yeah, Citadel go for combos with their ultimates here. It just means that they bleed more economy in the face of the Karmic Revival. Out comes the Soul Bind. Finz is going to be shutting off all of the space that Enzo looked to create as we head towards overtime with Sonic Destruction. And Water Force Physics onto Enzo, which brings him down immediately.
This is not the same Citadel team that we watched yesterday.
Enzo. There's going to be a quick resurrection, yeah, so Enzo will re-enter the fray, but the remainder of the team can't make it through the absolute barricade. The blockade of Naboo by the Trade Federation has been enforced by Flame Cyclones themselves. Down comes the damage. Amplified by the Seer means that Phi can't stand up to the hit scan pressure of Tanuki, but you know what? The pressure can be alleviated by an invisible boundary drawn up here by Saipe.
I love seeing like the players' face cams and seeing the reaction to everything that's going on.
It's a little bit bugged there on the descent. Actually ends up above it and so can't quite follow through. This means Tanuki has to throw in even more to try and make this one work. Sparker contemplates potentially self-reviving, but instead is going to call it here. Oh wait, he does self-revive. Not sure if that one was too intelligent.
Yeah, Citadel now they have to play absolutely perfectly. They do have the means to go aggressively first with both the Dance of the Butterflies and the Rage of Ultron, but they do have to bait out that Soul Bind, likely with one of those ultimates committed, which means that the dive follow-up has to be absolutely on point. And Phi is already moving on up, using the AoE damage from that torch to clear the angles and figure out where Citadel are.
The BRB is close by to try and reinforce any of these deep dives. That's going to be used by Melio already as Sniper falls on down elsewhere. The damage is good, and Fi trying to make sure that the disengagement, taking them back to their team might not be ideal there, Polly, but you know what? It's just a friendly delivery from one bro to another.
They're giving them very little space as well.
A friendly delivery from one bro to another.
Karmic Revival cast.
Remember, hey, I'm still gonna go with the curse that happens, chat. If you win the first match, the first map on Koth, you lose. Watch, it's gonna happen.
Soul Resurgence means that they'll sustain through the Feast of the Abyss as Miller did not commit his ultimate, and Polly goes down.
Yeah, and the BRB isn't even off cooldown yet because they're fighting so early and so fast. Melio tries to relieve some of the pressure, and while they're all low, it means even easier times burning them down for the Ensong Inferno. Fincy takes down Enzo, but already VIRTUS.PRO, they can't be allowed to flip the point right here. Still, they might have no choice. It's going to be 99%, already halfway towards the cap. Saipe's got sustainability for days for the remainder of VIRTUS.PRO inside of this one. A dodge away from Tanuki is solidly done as Nevix doesn't get too much off the back of their Feast of the Abyss. But disengagement went so far, and Tanuki tracked it all the way. Enzo's back on the Doctor Strange, as it seems like an off-angle play from Fincy here is going to be easily blocked on out. The Shield of a Seraphim can't be broken through, so all will escape the Sarnic's clutches of the Emma.
Oh, VIRTUS.PRO might bring it back.
And into the health pack. Fincy's got their own
Citadel already used TP, so they can't TP back if they lose. Uh-oh.
But Enzo can't get healed in time.
2 picks.
Will just carve through Ultron. Can't afford to show himself to Fincy. Polly's got no heals to speak of apart from a meager Ultron drone, and with no feet down on the ground.
Fincy is literally popping off right now. Oh, he's just...
now in favor of VIRTUS.PRO. Spark has still got a res to deal with. Polly's back in record time, and Alex is revived by the BRB, so there's still going to be numbers here for Citadel, but VIRTUS.PRO still have a second phase to his fight.
Spark has got the Karmic Revival. He's entirely untouchable. You can see him just there behind both of his two other strategists. Out comes the Ensong Inferno onto the backline, onto the Atom. Is it enough? Can they take Spark down before Karmic Revival comes on through? There's no follow-up. Amelia was already down on the Psylocke, which means that the Atom sustains, and VIRTUS.PRO continue their presence on the objective to take Frozen Airfield. And we go now to Super Soldier Factory.
See, that's
it's not over though. It's not. I don't think Citadel should have used that. Oh, but
the Ultron and the Rocket, they just have such.
I will say, hey, if Citadel wins this round, chat, that means
it's so bad.
Like every single time they play a Koth, they will win.
Having that Luna give you the idle aura to either your Phoenix or your...
It's the most common thing. It's not a J3 curse. It's the most common thing that we see. The team that wins the first point always loses the next two.
35% heal trickle would be absolutely huge. However, if you go for a Luna with a composition like this, when there is very little peel, the way that Citadel Gaming peel is by taking attention elsewhere. VIRTUS.PRO having to deal with all of the angles that they themselves are being contested upon allows the strategists that extra level of sustainability, which is why so often against this composition we see teams literally just make a play to ignore the dive and send something like a Vanguard all the way to the objective and force a pivot.
Citadel Gaming sticking to their guns here. VIRTUS.PRO, they have an advantage to begin with.
God damn it.
Revival might be everything.
Ty gets a little bit of AoE read, knows that Citadel Gaming are looking for a play. Eye comes down to the Butterflies and Feast of the Abyss at the same time. Sparker does go down, but he's still got the Cocoon. And that means that he's just going to bring himself right back into this fight because VIRTUS.PRO, they're going to be able to establish presence on the objective with the Emma and establish dominance with a huge carbon crush onto Enzo, forcing Ken to ult.
Yeah, Tanuki was very far away from a BRB as well. Vasia gets a massive chunk bitten out of it by the Venom. Still no early play here. Down comes the Ribbon. The angelic descent of Angela into the back line. It seems like there's not going to be too much gained off the back of it, though, by Polly. Alex inside of the invisible boundary can't be forced to leave. Would be slowed on the outside as they try to disengage, but they are brought back by the battle recall beacon. Polly drops one off the map. I believe that was Sparker. Not sure if there's going to be any chance for a Cocoon revival.
No, you can already see the life ticking down. If he goes off of the map, he can't self-res. Finzy, though, still holding his position, has the Aegis that he can dance in and out of, that both he and Nevix can dance in and out of to sustain the pressure coming on through. The Diamond Form, you see he gets the damage reduction to disengage back to his team and stabilize, and VIRTUS.PRO still aren't allowing Citadel Gaming the full cap.
The rare Vanguard patty cake coming on through. Nevix finally makes their engagement known. Out comes a potential knockdown, but Nevix quickly able to swing on away. Melio in the back is already forced out plenty of resources,
that I did have,
that dance of the
that I
butterflies,
did get
but
has
now
a
it's all
bidet
down
chat, but I
into
still
a
like to, like, you know,
super
check it.
fight to try and make something
I'm new to the
happen.
bidet
Close
experience.
and
I still want to check.
The end song Inferno rises above it all, and the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier is going to make sure that it's even more deadly. But on the Vanguard,
still got to use a little toilet paper, bro.
Ken's fallen down and can't res themselves.
What?
Side-bay traded on the other side of her Age of Ultron is declared. All of the array damage is more than enough, and now Citadel are going to have to do it without any healing whatsoever. Poly's fallen on down, and surely Enzo's soon to join them. Ken's going to come on back now with a portal to try and stop this first contest and make sure they continue to accrue percentage. And that means
sometimes you just gotta double check your work. Like when you guys do like a math problem for homework or some shit, or on a test, you guys gotta double check it.
Seems like there's not going to be a knockdown. Once again, you can't convert on this one, and Spark has gone for a resurrection. VIRTUS.PRO believe that this is their chance, this is their moment, this is their opening, and a double up on the ultimates is certainly a hearkening to such dastardly aims.
Poly's not giving them any point flips. Citadel Gaming at the beginning of that fight were able to.
I don't double check math homework. Okay, double check your taxes. Make sure you're not giving the government enough money, right? Even though I don't know who does taxes nowadays.
Try and get back to his team, and Melio picks fire in the meantime.
No resurrection available this time. Now the dance for Bellfire is getting a patty cake coming on through. The extra health as well. Coming up close and personal. Tanuki took the ultimate risk and paid the ultimate price for it. Fincy with a fully charged beam just carves through all comers. And that's going to be VIRTUS.PRO finally flipping at 82%.
VIRTUS.PRO, they're down Soulbind, they're down Karmic Revival, they're down every single one of their ultimates. It's going to be up to Nevix to try and slow down Citadel Gaming's approach, because they've got a wombo combo. Heaven's Retribution combined with Endsong Inferno. It's going to be up to VIRTUS.PRO.
To be honest with you, I still believe in the curse. I think Citadel Gaming is going to win this map.
Guy has to be careful, but remember, does have an advantage due to that damage boost that is available. Nevix chasing after their counterpart here, looking towards the back. The axes of Icar's drawn on out, giving over health to everyone who wants to come in and play.
Yeah, exactly, chat.
The pole, then the nuke gets dropped from downtown for Sparker. This one's going to have to be calling it, because of course it's only 55% towards the resurrection.
Like I said, chat, whoever wins the first map loses the series.
Whether or not he is going to go for that revive, and Citadel with the wombo combo find the flip. The fact as well that they were just coming through with Enzo getting the Tevron to so many players, able to force VIRTUS.PRO to back off of the point, which meant that the flip came through before Heaven's Retribution landed. And once again, he goes in, disrupts the backline's engagement, does enough damage to build up the Feast of the Abyss. And we get to see this time Fire's Endsong Inferno looking to target down Ken, who simply runs away with the shift.
What the fuck was that, bro? What is he doing?
It's a fast fight. There's a reason they make it a fast fight. It's
okay.
advantage, and they don't give VIRTUS.PRO point percentage. You can't afford to give a triple strategist.
Did you hear the casters? They wanted to take a fast fight, make sure VIRTUS.PRO uses their ults, and then comes back with maybe with their ults. Chat. I didn't even know. I didn't even notice that 3 people died before. I just saw that guy just fall down.
For Sparker to res and take the objective.
The VIRTUS.PRO, the most dangerous fight, has passed in towards the back. The Cosmic Yarn Amplifier should be easy to carve through the health bars, but the damage is shared out once again. Great use of a Soul Bond coming through from Sparker here, who's still ready to resurrect. Actually going to be used preemptively here. Sparker ready for anyone to fall on down. If they get taken down into the Abyss, it's not going to be quite as lucky. Fire dragged on through, coming in close and personal. Melio starts to channel the dance of the butterflies inside the Guardian's shield and the invisible boundary. There is more than enough healing. Tanuki's just going to be chased into it here. There are no good options. Fincy with the dags of Danak shepherds them into the loving arms of Fire, who just burns them to a
Citadel wins?
Only Ash remains.
No, Citadel
stood. And for Alex, they're going to have to try and force in all of the healing. A block onto the
Citadel loses.
The Rage of Ultron. Fincy's got heads up play. The Eye of Agamotto.
VIRTUS.PRO is going up.
401 futures and finds
no,
the one where
not over.
Pro can reign supreme, blocking off
Chat, it's not over till it's over.
Movement of the Super Soldier factory as well might block off some of the engagements. Out comes the Heaven's Fall from Poly, instantly broken through. The damage is good, but Nevix is better, and he's got so much to play with. No way for double. Now both of them can survive that. Moving
Nah, I think VIRTUS.PRO wins. They're coming up on all their ults, 4 ults.
CITADEL are fighting tooth and nail, but this entire time, it's just been all VIRTUS.PRO all the time. There's no blue to be seen, only red that is spilled and blood is dashed across this Antarctic soil.
They keep hitting the Strange, but the Strange just keeps flying back up.
The CITADEL gaining safety.
VIRTUS.PRO is up 3-1 after Navi was talking shit and said VIRTUS.PRO is going to lose 4-0 and that VIRTUS.PRO doesn't even belong in the finals because of what their performance was. Oh, 4-0, by the way. If I was on VIRTUS.PRO and I saw Trust Me's tweet, I'd quote retweet it and say 4-0, by the way. Oh,
was able to simply swing away, and Sparker going down several times.
Good series, bro. Good series. Good series. Okay, chat. Let me go put this in my bathroom.
Composition, the way that VIRTUS.PRO have been dealing against them.
Was Jay3 playing Mantis the entire time, walking over 26k heals? That's kind of bonkers. I'm not gonna lie. Being able to get those damage boosts out of a critical moment as well. The sustainability goes crazy here. And for CITADEL, this was supposed to be their trump card. This was where VIRTUS.PRO were always going to struggle against them.
I mean, you could see when they were in control, right? When they were able to find those wins and set those dives up against VIRTUS.PRO, they were able to force the resources. Soulbind did come out incredibly prematurely off of pressure coming on through from Enzo, simply diving on in, setting up Polly and Tanuki to actually find the eliminations when they combined their ultimate, especially on that secondary map. The problem for them, though, was that when we went to that really long, drawn-out fight towards the end and they have to go through for the portal, they try everything. Like the Loki swap comes on through for regeneration domain, that gets broken almost immediately. The longer that fight goes, the closer VIRTUS.PRO get to building up another karmic revival. And because overtime would have been burning for so long, if anybody from the side of CITADEL tries to go after the Atom and you lose the relay of holding onto the point for a singular second, the round is done regardless of the Atom state.
I mean, VIRTUS.PRO also having both of their vanguards be able to rescue themselves from that abyss
nice.
where Poly really wanted to put them.
My bathroom has toilet paper now. I'm so excited. I can put away the leaves in the sandpaper.
Was huge.
You know what's better than 2 though, Moxie? 4. Because Marvel Rivals is now available on the PlayStation 4 for all of your big screen gaming needs. If you got the console sitting underneath your TV, you can download Marvel Rivals for free right now and get stuck in with the best of us.
What's the score? 3-1.
As well, to play on the console too. You can't use a console on Ignite, even though we do see our controller players coming on through. But you can enter MLC as they have a console division, so you can climb your way up the professional esports ladder that way as well.
Protect your bald king.
Oh, what a great way to
try
grand.
And get yourself 2 months.
Get your skills recognized. I know we have multiple players here in Ignite who actually came from console. I think Leolaz is one of them who came from that console scene. Most of 100 Thieves over in North America also played that. But
do they laugh every time they mention the PS4 because it runs at 4 FPS? No, I'm pretty sure.
Times marks as we head into map number 5. Right after this.
The transition that they did was good. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. VIRTUS.PRO. Pretty fucking good, chat. Pretty fucking good, man. Pretty fucking good. Drops aren't working for me. Nothing showing up in my inventory beside my account being connected. Are you sure it's connected? Did you redeem all the drops? If you redeem the drops, it usually takes like maybe, what, 24 hours or something to get into your account? Wait, Emily. Can you bring the vacuum over here for a second? Hold up, chat. I'm gonna have to mute real quick. I gotta vacuum something right here.
VP rally up and said, tales of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Coming out 3-1 against Citadel here. And for Citadel, there is so much soul searching that needs to be done to try and get themselves back into this series. They started off strong when I thought they might be weakest, coming in a little bit colder compared to VIRTUS.PRO. But when it comes to playing these objectives right now, VP.
No, I wasn't holding a gun. I wasn't holding a vacuum. Chat, I got a vacuum, bro.
VIRTUS.PRO. It feels like we really did just start the year in 2025 and get to see this team and be like, okay, we got the Psylocke again, we got the Starlet again, we got the Human Torch a little bit later in the year, given the fact that he didn't actually drop in January. But it is VIRTUS.PRO really playing to their strengths that we've been getting to see. Speaking about playing to their strengths, I would maybe expect Citadel to take us to a convoy map that isn't Araco, so potentially Yggdrasil Path, which tends to be their comfort map now moving into stage 2. Whenever they've lost domination maps, they tend to go over to Yggdrasil and turn things around, especially when they go up against the likes of Na'Vi previously.
Plus, I got some very recent tape on VP on the Yggdrasil Path from the previous matchup against Na'Vi, so that's going to be relevant for Salah to have had taken a look at in the back room. And you know what, Moxie, when it comes to getting a team back together, there are rituals on the side of Citadel to try and bring themselves back onto the same page.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, you actually even got to see it firsthand when we sat in on their scrims over in land for Guangzhou. They have Polly do the count where you have to basically all clap at the same time to make sure that everybody is on the same page when the dive comes on through.
I won't tell your dad. No, you snitched, bro.
My
My dad literally came in here and was like, yo, what's up, guys? And then you were like, yo, your son twerked a few minutes ago. I didn't even twerk. You just snitched for no reason.
When Hells haven't popped up, that it would be dive. Granted, there were components of a newer composition of dive with things like the Angela combined with that Psylocke. But the Adam with the soul bind and just being able to triage triple strategist healing with both the Luna as well as that Invis simply meant that there was so much sustainability.
Yeah, like they just rebuffed so many of the assaults, utilizing first for Soulbind, then they go for like the light and dark karma with the clap for everybody else, then they just dump 4 mantis spores. Like we saw Drijo walking out of the entire I think they have the highest healing in the game with mantis the entire time. They just dump 4 mantis spores. You know, sometimes it's not about getting the damage boost, it's about, you know, living the dive and then we'll strike back later.
Well, we're getting ready to head into match point for VIRTUS.PRO. Let's see if we hear an Asgardian choir coming on through, or if it's going to be somewhere a little bit different indeed. Yes, it is. There we go. To Yggdrasil Path we head.
Thank you, Noodle.
This has been, as you said, one of the comfort maps for Citadel Gaming this season, but overall for VIRTUS.PRO, as our kind of original map here in Marvel Rivals, a team with as much longevity as VIRTUS.PRO has been playing this map for as long as time immemorial. It's going to be on the hands of both sides.
See, I wonder though, when you go convoy, you have to know that VIRTUS.PRO are
Noodle
likely going to
meows a
target
lot.
that
I don't know if you guys have cats that meow a lot when you like sneeze, but Noodle does it a lot.
But also to weaken your spawn break hold. When it comes to the Punisher getting that damage.
Will NA play on the new patch for playoffs? I'm pretty sure yes.
Getting removed, so that Strangling Prison can't be combined with things like Haunter of Khonshu, as well as those walls looking to isolate and break LOS. But things like the Adam Warlock, if he's able to make it on through, as both of these teams actually are going to be able to save Jeff, given the fact that Citadel Gaming start on the attack, which is their own decision, meaning that they got to save the Jeff before VIRTUS.PRO got to go for the back-to-back bans.
Okay, Adam taken off the table. Yeah, I probably would after what just happened on the last map as well. Simultaneous bans now going to come through. Likely to be Venoms maybe to try and... Actually, Symbolic Shenanigans hasn't been given too much precedence between these two teams.
No. I thought you meant like the grand finals at like
land,
like the land tournament. No, there's no way that NA plays next week on like the new patch.
Yeah, that Storm
because like the new patch is on Friday, but like
to squirrel it away for safekeeping. Ultron
they still have to play Thursday. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not very fair to the players because they don't practice on that to, you know, play Thursday and then new patch Friday. It doesn't make any sense.
A Phoenix or a Human Torch angle that VIRTUS.PRO rely on, they don't have the drone to be able to pocket them, or the Rage of Ultron to reopen up those spaces.
Yeah, the Rage of Ultron can be a great retake tool here. Maybe one side, Psylocke going to come back through again for the side of Citadel Gaming. I mean, to be fair, Spark is more than comfortable flexing over onto a tertiary strategist.
Does this force the Venom ban now, is what I'm wondering, because it's not just symbiotic shenanigans, it's also the anticipation of either Tanuki or Melio accompanying
chat
it.
before this game starts.
Especially with the
Am I late to the party?
Star-Lord.
Look what I got. That I...
Could be real. Star-Lord save. Now what do you have to get rid of, VIRTUS.PRO? Okay, it's going to be the Ultron. Make sure there's going to be no pocket up in the air. Ultron taken away from both teams.
So Jeff still gets the Venom. Star-Lord still gets a dive component Vanguard too with that Venom. No strange.
Does anyone here have a Switch too?
Both of these teams are going to be able to either start with
if
Strange
you guys have a
to
Switch
have
too,
all of those shields to be able to block things like the Terror Cape.
I thought I was late to the party.
Attack and Cloak and Dagger. We don't typically see Cloak and Dagger in compositions. Currently, she has some niche levels of value, but one of them is when you're attacking on convoy maps.
I have that
being able to apply that vulnerability onto those Vanguards to instantly take them down and burn out things like that.
I got it so we can play games together, chat, for variety, like Mario Party.
Given the fact that the ammo was removed, Doctor Strange would then have the more reliable shield to be able to block those connections.
Momentum heavily in favor of VIRTUS.PRO right here. After losing out on attendance at Guangzhou when being the favorite team in the world to attend and possibly to win, they may turn up to Atlanta as the #1 seed from EMEA, the reigning region champion.
VIRTUS.PRO going to be starting on that defense. Citadel Gaming yet again banned out from the Storm. Is it going to be the same story? With that damage boost now being removed,
what's up, He-Man?
as we saw on Midtown, Polly's gone over to the Wolverine, something that we saw previously, that Melia this time starts on the Phoenix and already sets up a huge stun onto 3 bodies.
Never extract on it. You can see already.
Yeah, the Atlanta's the grand finals. Yeah,
one from coming on through,
which is going to be later this month, I'm pretty sure.
Nevix just comes up fourth to brawl, and they're more than happy to just try and rub their noses into Citadel Gaming and meet them head on head. Polly still has a little bit of room to work with when it comes to that passive.
Melio's got ult.
In Nevix, Melio gets it done up close.
Wait, how the hell does Melio have ult already in like fucking 20 seconds?
Huh? Big surprise in the Cosmic Yarn amplifier as well, but look at how quickly they carve through the end song Inferno, and then Melio is exposed in the midst of VIRTUS.PRO.
Yeah, Sparker manages to put the Cosmic Yarn amplifier down, and Melio doesn't interact with it flying through in time before he gets taken out.
That character's insane. No.
Citadel Gaming yet again have to go back to their spawn and reapproach into all of this fight, but now they have to do so when VIRTUS.PRO have ultimates built up. Magneto's going to have the Meteor M to deal with Tanuki's Galactic Legend, Saipe the Invisible Boundary to keep up with the Eye of Agamotto damage. It's up to Polly to try and grab the invis out of her ult.
Fincy grabbed already, potentially the counter here.
Yo, Dark X Winter. I appreciate you asking 2 months, my friend.
I'm gonna look potentially for Nevix. I think they may have actually opted to go into the back and just give over a little bit more. Ken off the edge, potentially. Not quite sure what's going on over there. Wolverine eaten up solo here by Dredro. No stuns gained by Enzo. You saw Nevix draw up a wall to break the LOS from the Eye of Agamotto onto that backline. Big strangling prison. 4 players inside. The stuns are good. 3 souls separated from bodies. And VIRTUS.PRO pulled ever further away from victory, and VIRTUS.PRO decide to carve through Citadel. This is going to be back to the drawing board, surely.
Yo,
what a strangling prison into Eye of Agamotto follow-up.
I don't know what VIRTUS.PRO did before their matches today, but I'm pretty sure it involves drugs. They're playing really fucking well right now.
Entirely. Great sedation, but that's going to be broken almost immediately, which brings Saipe back to the fold, and the Wolverine looks for the Mac, but he's still got the bulwark.
It's a self-bubble. Saipe taken down. The Dark Maelstrom's responsible for that one, but guess what?
Well, Navi might be watching this crying. If I was Navi, I wouldn't be sad right now. If VIRTUS.PRO does win and Navi lost by VIRTUS.PRO, that means he lost to the #1 team right now. And it was a pretty close series, so like you can't get.
Cosmic Yarn amplifier already destroyed, and Eye of Agamotto onto just Saipe this time, but still it's going to be the TP coming on through rather quickly. Sparker returns.
Ken might be able to find the edge, Jeff, as fire's on the low, but no, the teleport comes through in time, and VIRTUS.PRO get another chance at recontesting.
Well, fight's already down, and Nevix is isolated elsewhere. Enzo just stands in the doorway, making sure that no one can come on through. One bite to rule them all, and Trejo might well have it. Seems it was a miss right there as Melio takes them on down, and Ken is going to make their own play here, giving a little...
Wait, trust me, replied to his tweet? Really? I gotta go look at that.
Potentially grabbing out Fincy, who seems to have been able to take themselves elsewhere. There's still a little bit of distraction on the cart coming through from VIRTUS.PRO, but in the end, it will be workable for Citadel Gaming. Surely you can't stand up to 6 players laying down their fire, and Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder finally find the objective.
True, but VIRTUS.PRO with just unparalleled aggression run atop of Alex, which means Citadel Gaming don't have the Mantis in the forward position for the Soul Resurgence to take all of the space away from VIRTUS.PRO and snowball into second. Tanuki is going to be in that space with the Galactic Legend, however, and he doesn't have to worry about a meteor this time around. Does have to worry that VIRTUS.PRO are just going to be able to bait it out and then disengage. But if you're trying to track down where the Star-Lord is, you're not looking at the Wolverine. And Polly deposits Finzi directly in front of his team, already burning the BRB.
Yeah, big BRB position though to at least bring him back fast to be able to capture some of this space in towards the back. The Soul Resurgence is used. Remember, extra movement speed for all of Citadel Gaming. But Fire looks around the back. It's Fincy going to try and mug for Jeff, who are given a little bit of additional HP. Tanuki takes out Redro and wants even more. Going after Saipe. No resurrections this time. And now faced with the Venom, is just going to decide to disengage and instead look after Fincy on the back line. Disengagement on the cards here for the Captain America. And it seems like we're going to get out scot-free.
Look at the amount of objective control they've got here as VIRTUS.PRO have just been forced to disengage. Disengage the Soul Resurgence, disengage the Galactic Legend, and now they don't have ultimates to try and make a play for this high ground hold, which they've been funneled into because of the teleport block coming on through from Enzo. Out comes Galactic Legend from Sparker, Finzi dropping the Freedom Charge so that VIRTUS.PRO have sustainability on the objective. And
I don't think it's the melee. I think it's just a force of habit, but you can do B-hop jumps basically with any character for like momentum. You can do it on Venom, you can do it on Wolverine, you can do it on a lot of characters.
Citadel Gaming have been reduced to tattered rags and ruins.
They held on to the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier though. I'm sure Saipe is going to drop this the second that Melio uses that end song Inferno, and it's going
I think
to
the
be
melee is just a force of habit. He just melees. I don't think it does anything.
Is going to be able to find the commitment. Nevix too with that Feast of the Abyss for the damage boost might well be able to find a pick. The dive goes on through the force physics, but Nevix is already in the ground.
Oh my!
Doesn't catch him as he comes up from the ult.
What are they doing, bro? Bro, Citadel, they're better than this. What are they doing?
Ultimates here to try and deal with just Nevix and Saipe. I mean, anything off the back of it. That was going to be down to raw mechanics coming in with the rage generated previously by Polly. They want to try and get on top of Fincy, and yeah, the damage is there, but is the finish going to be? Indeed, it's Ken.
Like Citadel, no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but Citadel is supposed to be the team that 4-0's VIRTUS.PRO. Yeah, exactly.
That's a great force physics, but can they finish it off? Yes, Nevix chews through their food, and there's going to be a healing pool to deal with all of this. Enzo can take to the skies, but instead, Redro is going to be backing off here with a momentary peel and the healing for the remainder of the team. Tanuki's getting desperate in the back. Oh, that's a big symbiotic shenanigan, but it's quickly carved on through. Saipe's not going to be there either. Yes, Tanuki gets traded on out, but I'm going to call that one worth. Nevix doing their best to arrive on
oh, he got the portal off. Oh, he blocked the fucking EP with the portal. I didn't even know that was possible.
Just in time.
He got the portal down and the Jeff missed the fucking ult.
The rest of VIRTUS.PRO present themselves inside the invisible boundary of Alex, and we don't want to deal with a slow. It's going to be Sparker wrapping elsewhere. Nevix gets resurrected by the BRB. Fincy stands alone, hopping as best they can with the evasiveness, and it's Sparker on the off angle now with the Galactic Legend, trying to write down in history the names of VIRTUS.PRO. 3 stuns. It's massive here to come on through from the side of a Doctor Strange. 5 separates their souls, and now VIRTUS.PRO
Leg Day's casting is crazy.
VIRTUS.PRO by an absolute miracle say that you ain't Redro, you ain't him. We're the Bears, and we continue to rise.
The fact that
dude, his casting is really fucking good. That was a good hold. I don't know how they did that. My butt would have been so clenched if I was that strange to get my portal off. I'm
Legend to leverage better position on the objective, forcing Citadel Gaming to hide in the side rooms, which then meant that they were all set up to get connected onto with the backline from Eye of Agamotto. And off of the back of that, there's absolutely no way that they're going to be able to turn it around.
4-0, by the way, chat. 4-0.
VIRTUS.PRO hold on second.
4-0 chat.
An absolutely manic push, and Citadel just ran out of steam. VIRTUS.PRO's threat assessment, second to none.
We've never seen this from Citadel Gaming either. Whenever they've gone to Yggdrasil path and they've decided to attack first, because remember, they decided to attack first. They wanted to set the momentum. They wanted to establish that they could play this map, that this was their comfort map for a reason. They've either full pushed or gotten to at least third. The fact that they got stalled so close to the end point of second, that one's gonna hurt.
I mean, look at the differences in, like, eliminations and casualties.
All Lords versus no Lords, brutal. The Lords don't really matter. I'm pretty sure they're playing on a tournament client where they have everything unlocked. All the skins unlocked, all the Lords unlocked. It's just...
VIRTUS.PRO now going to be holding. How much time can they burn off the bank? Fires on the Widow, looking for a pick onto one of those players who's out in the open, doesn't manage to find it, swaps over to the Phoenix, the pick that I'm sure will be sticking around for a lot longer. Does VIRTUS.PRO have all of that damage and dive? Nevix the Venom, Sparker the Star-Lord, and Dridra on the Jeff to heal them from afar.
Citadel playing pretty far back here as well. It's going to give over a lot of space for these duelists to work with. Sparker and Fire rewarded for that as Melio's already fallen. Enzo's made it back towards the back line, and Tanuki's taken down by Sparker with a blaster barrage, not having to rely on the accuracy, just positioning alone. The symbolic shenanigans give Sparker all the time he needs to just roll on forward. He's got so much HP to work with, and there's no one else for Citadel. They've just been outmaneuvered in the neutral.
Yeah, I mean, Enzo went over to the objective to try and stall it because that's all that Citadel really could do. Melio's got to go to the Doctor Strange and portal everybody, but that first fight was so one-sided. The closest ultimate that they're going to have is Invis Boundary, and even that is not immediately there. If Sparker manages to find a huge spin as they all come through the portal, he's going to board Galactic Legend first, and it looks actually like Citadel Gaming, they're going to go for a late portal.
All right, portal comes on through. Fire's got a good angle onto it for now, but they will be able to disengage into the safety of the side room. They start to rotate pressure upon the cart. Nevix already has a Feast of the Abyss, by the way, and as it's going to be an attempted eating coming on through, Dridro grabs up their own Venom, I believe, inside of the invisible boundary. It needs to be a dodge away from Alex, and the pressure's not quite there to try and carve through the healing given. Nevix has the extra damage coming through from the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, but the healing should be good here, at least temporarily, from Ken. Alex and Ken both fall to Sparker, who finally finds their moment to shine, utilizing a Galactic Legend, finds 3 final hits onto 3 strategists.
GG's chat. I think Citadel's mental's boomed. I personally think their mental's boomed. I think they're checked out. They're like, how the hell are we getting beat by a senior citizen team, bro? We're getting, like, if I was like Citadel are a bunch of probably like kids in their early 20s, and they're getting beat by people who are in their mid 40s. I'd be done.
Push the convoy to where it's needed and walk away the winner of the EMEA Ignite Stage 2. And they're already putting the pressure onto Enzo, forcing out all of that resources from the Magneto, which means that it's up to Polly to step up to the plate and stall for the team.
70 grand, the first place seed and glory denied previously. They were kept in their cell like Tai Lung. But finally, a battle that might be legendary. It's Nevix in the back.
Damn, he actually knows his lore.
The chase down's good from Sparker here to try and find this backline. The dives are so sublime, but Tanuki's Blaster Barrage is better. And a little bit of rare stability for Citadel.
Yeah, Citadel was split, but half of the team were with Polly, which meant that they had access to the Freedom Charge HP coming on through. Because they won that fight too, they've been able to establish a closer hold for their players to start pushing damage into VIRTUS.PRO as they come through from choke. They've got to tax as much as they possibly can. They need to burn the time bank. Nevix with that Feast of the Abyss puts the pressure onto Magneto, and immediately Melio with the Dance of the Butterfly sees an opportunity when the team split and looks to start putting the dashes in before the bodies are there, but wouldn't eat onto Enzo since he didn't have the bulwark up. He used it before against Nevix's ultimate. The mag is gone.
Enzo opts not to use the Meteor M, thinking the risk was too great and their health was too low, knowing the potential they could be burned on through while channeling that one. It's Tanuki's turn to try and deal with the cracks in the defense, and now they've just taken so much damage up in the sky. No resurrections this time as Fincy takes out the Battle Recall Beacon, and with Dridro going down, there's a little bit of pressure.
I don't know, man. I don't want this to be over. I hope Citadel wins. I'm gonna cheer for Citadel, chat. I don't want it to be a 4-1. A 4-1 is very disrespectful.
Enzo holding onto the meteor and a web Sparker, rapidly approaching that Galactic Legend as Fi swaps over to the Human Torch to put the pressure onto Citadel Gaming, heat up the main road with things like the Pyro Prison.
Ken is rapidly approaching your location, but Fi comes even faster. A hot drop, a flash fire to fry the Wayward Shark. Chasing down Melio, he never stood a chance. He was constantly taken out of stealth by the blaster barrage of Sparker, and now one fight is in it, Mox.
Alex goes down, which means no Rocket BRB to bring the players back. It's up to Polly to use the Freedom Charge and clear onto that objective, stalling out long enough for Citadel Gaming. The respawns are so close. The Captain America on the objective running at the back line, but Fi is controlling every single angle of approach that Citadel could take.
Tridro waiting to just try and eat up Enzo, a metallic bulwark. This might be a chance to try and convert here onto Tridro, but manages to escape. Now it's Sparker's turn. Takes to the skies. Wants to write the legend. Is going to carve it in blood if he has to. Write it upon the walls of a cell that once held VIRTUS.PRO. Polly can't make it to the point. 1 meter and 40 expended here as VIRTUS.PRO are so close to their victory. It's sweet in their mouth. They can savor the taste. Melio tries to stop it with Fincy going down. They're so close to taking it.
Oh, bro.
VIRTUS.PRO are running low on members. They're running low on options. Melio going down is a great start for this one as Fire's up close and
bro.
Double
they still got a minute.
More is laid on down here. A great dodge on the incoming play from a Jeff Falanchar. Ken just has to flee elsewhere. They only got their own teammates, and Fire's coming up close and personal. There's more chase coming through. The peel is there.
Wait, I just heard a portal. Whose portal was that?
He's ready to open a portal and try and make this one finish right here and now. Tanuki with the Galactic Legend. We need to keep an eye on the cart. It's rolled back slightly here and now.
Wait, I think both teams have portals now.
For reinforcements. 40 seconds remain. A blaster barrage on the 4 members of VIRTUS.PRO. They share up the healing with symbiotic shenanigans are real, and there's still a supernova in the back half as well. Fire's ready to go with it, and Tridro's ready to remove any of these vanguards. A jump up in the sky as they wait for the landing of a Captain America. An inhospitable environment. 2 allies are grabbed, 1 enemy, 2. It's Enzo with the Eye of Agamotto. He gets nothing off the back of it, and Cyber raises up the Cosmic Yard Amplify, but Melio carves on through. It's Sparker's turn now. He takes to the sky. Once more yells out for the legends.
Bro,
Ken's gonna make one of his own right.
This is one of the most intense final fucking fights I've ever seen.
Multiple players, and now they need.
It's making me lose hair. I'm stressed too.
It's going to be a desperate struggle. Sparker's falling so low, but guess what? Tridro's in the back with a joyful splash. The water type. It's going to be so much damage.
VIRTUS.PRO has 0 ults, chat. VIRTUS.PRO has 0 ults. Citadel almost.
Polly falling low, and Melio gets.
They gotta get Rocket. If Citadel gets Rocket and Tanuki, they win.
Polly's back already. They need to get on the point for 3 meters in.
You gotta go, bro. You gotta pop it. You gotta pop it.
Against 5. In comes the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. A little bit of additional damage, a little bit of additional healing.
No, they might do it. They might bring it.
They're running on borrowed time. The attrition's everything, and now you got to build for Citadel. It's brick by boring brick, but there's nothing to be bored with here.
They actually fucking did it.
Oh boy, that is the most tense overtime we've ever seen.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
Literally.
Hey, we got ourselves a game, chat. We got ourselves a game.
Then VIRTUS.PRO's match
dude.
Point. The swap's coming on for the rocket.
When they threw the rocket ult, I was like, holy shit, they actually got a support ult. That's big. And then I saw the rocket ult just disappear instantly. I was like, oh shit, that's not big. And then fucking Tanuki.
The objective, in case one of your vanguards goes down in the interim of you moving forward. Tanuki getting the damage.
Wow. I mean, Sparker popped off 34 and 5, 20 final hits.
Citadel Gaming say goodbye to VIRTUS.PRO sweeping the series.
Bro.
We continue in the match.
We go further, we go harder. And VIRTUS.PRO were denied the easy sweep through. Citadel recapture the magic. They find the clutch gene deep within their genome. They find their telomeres reinforced. And well, Tanuki, what a heroic play to get both of the strategists at the end with the Galactic Legend. The perfect positioning.
Yeah, it's so ironic. VIRTUS.PRO are trying to have that position be as safe as possible for that backline.
You know they were sweaty, bro. You know they were sweaty. You know they were coming a lot.
And also push Citadel to have to make a decision. Do you keep the objective pressured with a player, or do you send them out into those sidelines to be able to track down everybody else and give a presence on the objective? And that overtime had been going so long. If one person went down, Sparker here too, being denied some of these picked as early as he was looking for because of the map geography being mid-build, and Tanuki just able there with that Galactic Legend, the ultimate that won Citadel Gaming the overtime. Has that opportunity to go deep and look for the backline because the Wolverine has absorbed his presence on the objective and still has that passive alive and kicking, and Citadel have reanimated their opportunity to continue this tournament series.
I haven't been on edge that much since the last time Jay3 twerked.
What? That building. I'm sweating. And I'm sure
yeah, Star-Lord is it safe to say Star-Lord's meta? Star-Lord has been a very consistent pick in this tournament, and he's been picked a lot actually. And yeah, do the casters even breathe? Bro, when the casters are... We don't talk about the casters a lot, chat. I think the casters are doing a great job, bro. In that last, like, what, like, it was like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, they don't take a breath. That guy was like a rap god. Yeah, Star-Lord is hit scan, yes. Star-Lord is, Star-Lord's definitely hit scan. Okay, chat, give me 2 seconds. I gotta go pee, man. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my god.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon, and I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you really are? Show me that you are still the only one for me. I'll be waiting for you. Blink and open your eyes, raising up your fists and smashing through time walls. Before the rift splinters again, the arrival till the end. Rise and open your mind, hold on to your powers, no one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time. We will clash, no matter where. We will fight, reaching across time and space. 'Cause you are my destiny to the end.
Map number 6, Mox, which means we're going through our second rotation of game modes. Only Convergence remains in our second run through. VIRTUS.PRO get to choose where we go to try and close out the series before a biblical map 7.
Yeah, it's some pretty rough choices to have to pick between two. Hall of the Jolly, which granted VIRTUS.PRO have the better track record on when it comes to playing, plus it's a very strong map for flying compositions. But on the other hand, Citadel Gaming have been absolutely insane when it comes to
chat, did it start
Hall of the
already?
Jolly first points with Hulk Nemo strategies, just being able to absolutely melt through defense.
There's no way it started, right?
Compositions on the first go of things. Then on the other hand, you've got Symbiotic Surface, a map which is very much determined by momentum. So going there is always a challenge because it really does feel like if you go there, you have to have the better mechanicals because you need to win those duels. It's so important that you continue that momentum building, whether you're on the attack or the defense, to hold on to those critical angles.
Yeah, like, there are so many things that need to be considered here, and VP don't have a huge backroom stuff to really lay that at the door of, so there's a lot of tax on their players who are making these decisions in the moment. I know they have EQO in the backroom staff, and they have Blaney as their manager, but I think the EQO is a little bit busy elsewhere at the moment, so a lot of this is going to be falling on Nevix's shoulders.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that VIRTUS.PRO also just
it's 3-3.
An incredibly
It's not fucking lying, chat.
That went nearly 2 minutes where they were so close for that entire time, and it looked, especially since we actually saw Citadel forced into using both of their Vanguard ultimates at the same time to guarantee that they could get safely onto the objective with the Freedom Charge and stall it long enough for the reinforcements to come on through from literally their respawn room. They didn't get the opportunity to portal on through, which meant free Galactic Legend. That should have been it. Crucially, should have been it. So for VIRTUS.PRO, they know that they had the upper hand. Going into that overtime, they now have to just entirely reset and come into this next map fully fresh, because as we said, it's their pick of the choice, and we go into ban draft, which is something you absolutely cannot get wrong.
Given that we're not in ban draft yet, I assume our teams need to breathe even more than I did after that. I mean, there's only so many times you can try and reposition yourselves against, the 6 Galactic Legends we saw come out in that fight? That was crazy from Sparker and Tanuki, and of course they could just kind of free farm the damage when everyone's that clustered up around the cart. The Blaster Barrage goes absolutely wild in those close spaces, and here we are. VIRTUS.PRO remain on match point. Question is, will they be able to recover from Citadel stealing one out from under them?
Just saying, there is a potential for an 8-map series.
There's no way. There's no way they go to 8
this
maps.
being Convergence, this could very well be either a full hold into full hold or a full push into full hold. Given how well both of these teams have been playing this series, all of the Jolly is going to come on through.
There can't be. There's only
instantly banning
it's a best of 7. How can they go to 8?
It really has been counting the Citadel Gaming, as they've loved to run the symbiotic shenanigans with an add-on Warlock and literally just walk on a defensive team.
They're not going to draw, chat. There's no way they draw, bro. Draws are like, I feel like draws are very impossible in this game.
Access to the Jeff themselves.
Do a watch party with another streamer? No.
Last Hall of Charlie up against Na'Vi. VIRTUS.PRO did have their issues. Citadel Gaming probably are in a
I like listening to the casters, and I think, because I've done a lot of,
maybe had a scout to try
what do you call it, watch parties with other streamers. 2 streamers talking to each other, you're never going to hear the casters, and then I even feel like I sometimes talk too much. There's just too much going on, too much sound clutter, and I don't like it.
We've been seeing on the Human Torch an awful lot. So too have we seen Sparker.
Plus, if I was talking to another streamer, then I have to talk to the other streamer, engage with the other streamer, and that's less attention with you guys. I don't really.
Very much weakening that angle of composition for VIRTUS.PRO to have to go over to, potentially trying to force them onto a triple strategist line or a dive composition, which they can then counterplay with something like a Namor, Hulk, or Phoenix.
Star-Lord guaranteed and taken out of rotation. An uneven Star-Lord here.
Jay, what's your win rate today? 100%.
That maybe they have to. Oh, they are going to potentially face an uneven Emma.
VIRTUS.PRO have removed the Phoenix too, which has been one of the answers that Citadel Gaming have liked to go for when VIRTUS.PRO play stacked in terms of their defense positions. One-sided Ultron is actually what Citadel Gaming are going to prioritize. Rage of Ultron does build incredibly quickly, plus it can be used to counterplay the Jeff, and that is going to be a big component of these fights. VIRTUS.PRO not only getting the Jeff to try and displace players, but also stopping the strange portals from coming on through, as VIRTUS.PRO now start targeting out Polly's hero pool. Away goes the Emma, away goes the Cap, potentially trying to force him over to the Venom.
And now what's the last protect going to be here? Yeah, I think the Venom would probably be a good protect, especially... Oh, okay, it's going to be the Psylocke, giving Sparker that option to try and deal with the aerial threat that is the Ultron. That's a great way to try and make sure there's always going to be some real danger that the Ultron has to consider.
Is it the Luna or is it the Emma? Something that's going to mean that this Psylocke is going to be having far more value. That would be the ban that I would expect to see, but it's the Venom actually, so that they don't get symbiotic shenanigans, given the fact as well that they were banned out of the EMEA themselves. They wouldn't have the Carbon Crush to be able to prevent VIRTUS.PRO from just aggressively walking forward themselves.
Yeah, to try and stop them in their tracks. Fincy's actually been lights out on the camp today, by the way.
Oh,
we have so much polyglaze in our hearts because bro kind of is like a Vanguard GOAT. But Fincy's been lights out on this pick as well, which isn't really what Fincy's known for, but might soon be.
Citadel Gaming, though, they put stock in having both the Star-Lord and the Ultron. It saved them in the overtime. That Star-Lord really did come out to the play. We got to see Tanuki absolutely flexing his duelist prowess. Now he's going to get even more of a pocket.
Okay, chat, let's get this. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game. Yo, Fuzzy Ruckus for 34 months. Appreciate it. Yo, chat, get hype.
Whether or not it's going to be
get hype, bro. Get hype.
Whether or not it's going to be the team just trying to brute force main and look
I like VIRTUS.PRO. VIRTUS.PRO has a lot of great friends on that team.
Right, so
but if Citadel wins this and we go to a match 7, this is probably going to be the best grand finals we could ever ask for, chat. Best. Best. I will literally scream without the S if Citadel wins this.
For the Angela so that they can full wrap around right side. They've been denied the Venom. However, the Ant are still going to be able to take that angle, but Tanuki should be able to scout it out on that Star-Lord. We can actually see that Nevix is going to be playing from main instead.
Yep, Nevix almost playing like main Vanguard-esque, just making sure that all of his space is available. Poly knows that alongside Tanuki, they can keep this Angela at bay to try and open up a little bit of space for the remainder of their team. You can see that Nevix is constantly building up the charge on that weapon to make sure that the poke on Tanuki is substantial. A very safe usage of a blaster barrage here and straight back into cover. Tanuki's just trying his best to play this annoyingly.
Yeah, Tanuki has to deal, though, with Nevix, who's making it really hard for that Star to capitalize off of the space created by his Venom. So Galactic Legends building up a little bit slower than we would expect. Dritter already almost having Soul Resurgence up. And we've still got to worry about the Angela in the backline putting the pressure on.
Oh, wow. He almost fucking died.
Ultron. Out comes the invisible boundary from Citadel. Force is trying to pull VIRTUS.PRO into it, but the disengage is directly into the Star-Lord.
Yeah,
Tanuki, bro. Tanuki's disgusting. Tanuki needs to pop off this game for Citadel and for them to win.
Citadel Gaming still holding onto that space. Might look for a little bit more, given the fact that Melio has Rage of Ultron, but that CC immunity is going to come in absolutely clutch when it comes to avoiding any presence port for VIRTUS.PRO from Sonic Seduction. Sparker gives up 50% of ult, goes over to the Salt, put the pressure onto the Star-Lord. There's the Sonic Seduction, emboldened by Soul Resurgence, but Melio has the means to heal it.
Oh, Alex wasn't healed on through, though. Must have fallen through the cracks. Gets quickly revived here by the BRB as Poly looks in towards the backline. Feast of the Abyss. Hunger in his eyes and malice in his heart. Enzo ready to strike on through.
Wait, what?
Where did they come
He got the Invis woman? How did it? Okay. Listen, chat, you don't question LeBron. You just stay there and say, wow. Yay. That was big. Wow. Okay. Controller player, by the way. Where's my fellow controller players in chat? That's a controller player.
After the Venom, but Poly is still going to be able to make it out, and immediately you can see the battery, the ultimate charge going up for Alex, so he can build up Invis boundary and have it. As Fi's moved over to the Human Torch. No
damn. Yo, TDK's dad still here. What's up? What's up?
Shield Stagger and the Invis woman team up coming on through, so he can try and play against the Venom.
Yeah, he's going to be very vulnerable after using that hot drop to getting shut down by Tanuki. The Galactic Legend going to be hungering for the body of Johnny Storm. Nevix rolls on up through the high ground, knowing that they can at least force Poly out through raw DPS, and Fire waits for the opening to be made. It's Fincy going in towards the back. Hot drop has been used. That's a big cooldown that Tanuki's going to be monitoring here as Poly chomps through the back line. In comes a singular target for the Dance of a Butterfly.
No, this is PC. He plays on controller on PC. He's not like a Xbox player.
Shield is raised up in front of the Vanguard, so Tanuki can't really convert on much more than what they've already found. Still down on Tree Drover. Healing's not going to be sublime. Sparker and Saipe join the graveyard, and there's no Monster Reborn to be played right here. Instead, it's Monster to be staggered as Nevix is picked apart from all sides.
Poly is a disgusting tank player.
Need to lose the fight now. They get one other opportunity to try to regroup and make a play for this. Saipe goes over to the Rocket to have the BRB, but Alex
remember,
has the invisible boundary.
Remember, by the way, chat, this is VIRTUS.PRO's map pick.
Directly into it on the point fight.
This is VIRTUS.PRO's map pick, and they're getting full held on their map pick. Instinct. I appreciate the massive 5 get the memberships on YouTube, my friend. Absolutely crazy. You're amazing. I appreciate it.
So much damage right now, but it's going to help to build up towards the next Rage of Ultra.
Right, my YouTube is gifting more subs than my Twitch today. Yo, YouTube W.
Can't quite grab anyone right now. The Guardian Shield got in the way. A momentary pool of healing left on the floor by Jay3, ready to try and swallow up the opposition, but they're fighting after Tanuki, and they can't catch up to how fast the Star-Lord is. Instead, just grasping their own vanguard. Polly prepares for a re-engagement. No chance of it being eaten this time as Enzo ascends to the sky. He wishes to reign above it all and lay down the law imperiously.
Are they going to cap? Are they going to cap, or are they going to hold this, chat?
Courtesy of Facia, and they also got the respawns coming on through with the help of the portal. Fincy to the back. They really want Alex. Spark just starts to cut on through again. Alex is going to be the primary target, finishing the ult prematurely, moving over onto Ken. They know that BRB was back there.
Wow, hey, they capped. Damn.
They have the performance on
damn, bro. A weight was lifted off their shoulders, chat. A weight was lifted off their shoulders.
From the fight going on the objective with the Vanguard.
That was close.
Didn't even need to find the elimination. VIRTUS.PRO just needed one more tick to be able to find themselves moving into second, and they're able to get it from that split. Now they get to move on to a position, though it's not uncontested. Tanuki on that Star-Lord already there. Polly at his side to make sure that the Star-Lord gets to use the Galactic Legend before VIRTUS.PRO board an ultimate up to stop it.
Polly looks towards the point, is going to make a maneuver towards the back line. Already has to use a symbolic resilience for soft dive. May have made it a little bit of an easier target for Tanuki, but still everyone's managed to scatter effectively from the Galactic Legend channel by Tanuki. And so
the momentum's gone though. VIRTUS.PRO lost the momentum, and now the dive comes through yet again.
No, NA starts later, 7 o'clock.
Dispersing VIRTUS.PRO's push, so they don't get to use the Emerald ultimate to move forward.
That's going to be Sonic Seduction coming through from the Emma, noting that the eventual usage of the Rage of Ultra
Legend, appreciate the massive 12 months. Yeah, there was
couldn't quite find it.
They were burp out of him.
Shield and also use their own resources to try and get away. Jay3 super low. Will get resurrected, of course, by the battle recall beacon, but I think this one might already be too far gone for side of VIRTUS.PRO. Could find themselves staggered in this tiny area.
Oh, yep. They're definitely gonna go for it. Forces the freedom charge. The fact that Tanuki got the full pocket from the mag bubble, and that means now that the Captain America has to turn and make this work. Runs directly into Citadel Gaming, forces Ken into burning out that rocket. Cosmic Yawn Amplified. Does Polly try to go for the damage boost? Out comes this jet.
You know,
there goes Trigger with the meteor ram.
Kill that fucking fish, chat. I like that. Where's the emote for exploding Jeff? Can we get that posted, please? He deserves that. There we go. What's that emote called? Fucking Jeff dies. Thank you. I love that emote.
More keen to try and exact revenge on Nevix, trying to punish with disengage, and they might well do so. Good body block coming through from the Vanguard. Nevix will find himself overwhelmed. The healing.
Bro, I don't know why, but every time I see a Jeff get solo ulted like that or dunked on, I get a little happy inside.
So they can force out invisible boundary. Finzi doesn't have the freedom charge either to pay VIRTUS.PRO's approach onto the objective. Citadel Gaming are going to let them
Ian, I have to do it, bro.
So they can use their ultimates uncontested. Out comes the Galactic Legend. There's the Guardian Shield staggered down to the butterflies, fully healed through with the invisible boundary. And VIRTUS.PRO, they've got the Ensom Inferno, but Harry, there's no other damage afterwards.
Yeah, there's no damage to try and deal with it. Sparker towards the back does not have the healing, does not have the sustainability. A Blaster Barrage is all you need in the element guns to finish it off. Fincy arrives on the point, a timely manner indeed, but going up against 6, Freedom cannot stand. He might be able to do this all day in his mind, but his body gives out before his mind breaks, and VIRTUS.PRO are held on second.
It was all about the soft dives. Citadel Gaming being able to disperse VIRTUS.PRO. Managing to reclaim the space, first with the Galactic Legend, then with the Venom, pressuring the Emma into burning Sonic Seduction at a position which was so far off of the objective. Citadel Gaming could just disengage around the corner. And
I hope the NA playoffs are as entertaining as this. EMEA has been pretty fun, except the first game. The first game was actually kind of unfortunate. Sorry, Navi.
Who can then go so much more aggressively against VIRTUS.PRO once the Emma ultimate is finished, and from there, they never get the opportunity to recover. So they are constantly pressuring every single moment that they walk up. And this is where you start to feel concerned for VIRTUS.PRO deciding to take us to Hall
of How many NA games today? There are 2 NA games. We have FlyQuest against...
first in one singular fight so incredibly quickly.
30 seconds before
Yeah, their executions on first are not to be underestimated.
Oh,
And it
Fly
feels like
Quest
Citadel
against
Gaming, they
Envy
might
and
try
100
continue
Thieves
this pressure
against
point. If
Dark
we go
Zero.
to a 7th map of getting the one-sided Star-Lord. VIRTUS.PRO, though, they would have their pick of a litter when it comes to both game modes and basically
It's going to be great
maps. Any
games.
that we
It's going to
haven't
be great
played before
games.
would be on the table.
VIRTUS.PRO are going to be putting all of their resources into the Human Torch. We can see it here. It's going to have the Mantis damage boost. It's going to have the
100
idle
Thieves
aura from
clears.
that Lunar
See,
Snow
that's my
and the
problem.
Guardian
I
Shield,
love
plus
100
the
Thieves.
team
I
of
think they're a
armor
great
coming
team,
through from
but
the
I am
Phantom
also
Force
7 for
supplied by
7
Saipe.
for
Now,
twerking.
either gonna win with the Human
And
Torch,
I've been
or they're going
twerking
to
for
lose
Dark
with the
Zero.
Human Torch, because Tanuki and Melia are going to be
Can
working
100
to challenge
Thieves
that
beat
every
the
single time
J3's
they make a
ass?
play forward.
I don't think so.
Poly waiting out for now. Rocket network ready to go. And
I am literally
Fly
7
noted
for
on the
7. I
approach.
have
The
not
Guardian
lost a
Shield
game
already
for
expended.
with
Poly
the
looks to
twerk.
try and get a little bit of an approach elsewhere. Just distribute that attention equally among the dive directions until maybe Melio and Tanuki can make a move together onto Fire. You can see just how evasive he is up on the high ground. Has already popped his team up as well. Gets the bulwark, the full pocket onto a back.
Oh,
to
nice
keep
pull.
Fire up. Big force.
Oh,
to
that's
try
a
and stop the disengagement of Poly and the Carbon Crush as well. Everyone
Yeah,
just
that's a
levies the
kill on
weapons
him.
they
Poor
have
Poly.
against Poly. Great play from Sparks, from Saipe and Fincy to make sure there are no resurrections or no
Ian.
second chances. The resurrections there at least. Sentience grabbed here. A quick push away for Fincy.
Fi having to reposition, getting fully pressured, not just by the Sword and the Ultron, but by the Venom too for control of Garage. Nevix gets pushed back with the Force Physics. Slowly, VIRTUS.PRO are being pushed back towards Slope, but they're building up ultimates and managing to peel the dive. Turns the attention to deal with the Venom. Out comes the Cosmic Ion Amplifier from Citadel, sensing an opportunity, and Saipe has to stop it. The invisible boundary comes through, and the Cosmic Ion Amplifier is burned.
Fincy already taking this space though. With
So far, it's a good hold by VIRTUS.PRO so far.
Try and deal with the Rage of Ultron from Melio is counteracted by Fincy. CC immune so he can be audacious with their positioning and get rid of the remainder. But Poly finds themselves alone and the healing wasn't quite delivered. And now you've got to really give away this space to Fincy because he's just unstoppable with this much charge.
Tanuki is going to have the Galactic Legend fight the Supernova, definitely going to be the target, but you have to worry about Meteoran being able to absorb it. And either the Sparker or Dridger providing the ultimate to
Chat,
keep
we're
the
about to
Human
see an
Torch
ult
intact.
fest. 4 ults
Poly
against
has to
4
go
ults.
through and force something, dives into the backline, has the Feast of the Abyss, looks for the hit, forces out the Supernova and the Soul Resurgence as Enzo uses the
Oh,
VM
bro,
to
I would go for something
Okay, a
more
little bit wide
safe,
right
bro.
there,
Throw it
Enzo,
on a
but hey,
support
at
or
least
something.
deterred
I don't know why a lot of
for
mad
moment.
players try to
And
think
Fire
they're
gonna
like,
get close and personal
like,
now
you know,
for Poly,
Steph
feeling
Curry.
comfortable moving up against
Bro,
that
throw it at
Venom.
someone like that's
It seems
gonna
like
guarantee
Citadel
you
are
a
running out
kill.
of time already. Half their time bank is
That's
gone.
too
Whereas a Galactic
risky.
Legend in the back to try and play with. But you got to worry about Nevix's potential counter here with the Meteor M. The backline under siege, and Poly once more is dragged on back. Their control of Poly's dives is sublime.
First tick has been picked up though for Citadel Gaming. Out comes the Meteor Am to absorb the Rage of Ultron. Tanuki is going to get a free path for Galactic Legend when Stridger's ultimate is done.
Yep, Tanuki has the option, pops the ultimate, looks towards the backline. The invisible boundary already used, and so Tanuki's just going to call this one, knowing that Poly's down. They can't really convert on the damage. They can't burst through the healing that's available. The Cosmic Yarn Amplifier from Ken, even while down on Poly. It's bravery from Citadel here, but it will at least ensure them against the damage coming through from Fincy. Melio still can't stand up to the damage, and Citadel, they're running low on time, and they're running low on
chat.
options.
Less than
That's
1
why they
minute
use the
left,
Cosmic
bro.
Amplifier, 'cause now
This might be
VIRTUS.PRO have
game.
control of corner. Fi is going to be able to get so much pressure to build Supernova onto the point objective. Tanuki goes over to the Human Torch off of the Star-Lord. He's going to look to just use the Ultron as well as the pressure that Torch can bring to the Vanguards to give Citadel Gaming any
Yo,
opportunity
Tav,
of
appreciate the massive
establishing
prime, my friend.
themselves on the
Welcome.
objective.
Welcome to the best watch party
Poly.
in the world.
Patience runs through his
That's what this
veins.
is, the best watch party channel.
But Fi has the fury of the stars within him, the supernova good to go. As they look towards their counterpart, it's equal trades up in the sky as they play for the positioning. Fi takes themselves there.
No,
And
don't
Enzo
do it,
looks
don't
for
do
the
it,
big
chat.
bomb.
God
Can't
damn it.
get it off the back of the
What
Meteor
the
M. The
fuck?
pocket going through onto Fi.
Stop it.
Poly plays around the peripheries. 5 seconds remain. Into a back with a Feast of the Abyss. They need to carve through the backline of VIRTUS.PRO. They rebuff it easily though with the Soul Resurgence. It's Melio's turn to return now. They get through the overhealth with ease. They desperately want to take out Spark, and Nevix would also do as a secondary option. Nevix looks towards the sky. The captain has arrived.
Bro, these guys are looking like me out there on the basketball court, bro. What's up with all these air balls?
Down, it's Fighter back, and Ken is isolated.
Jeez.
He's so far away from this one, but Cyber raises up the invisible boundary on top of Citadel. They're too slowed. They can't make it back. Melio's gonna have to come on through the portal from elsewhere now, but guess what? Finzy's got the Sonic Seduction good to go. Melio's gonna have to try and cut it off surely when it comes to this, but no one makes it there.
Hey, where's trust me? Where is Navi saying that VIRTUS.PRO was gonna get 4-0'd, bro? They said that Navi was gonna lose 4-0. They won 4-2.
Delayed on Yggdrasil, but cemented on Hall of Djalia. Finzy walks away with the MVP. But the
great
MVP
game, bro. That was a great game. That was a great game.
The fact that they were able to hold on to that invis boundary through so much pressure, to have it when we went into the overtime fight after all of the ultimates have been exchanged,
fucking game.
put it onto the objective, finding the
That was a close one,
there
though.
was no other ultimate left to let them hold that position inside it.
Ooh.
The Luna ultimate had long been mirrored.
$1.9 million.
And that is VIRTUS.PRO walking away.
Bye-bye.
Finally, the title that they've been looking for
Bye-bye.
since the beginning
121
of the year.
people
We got to
voted
see
for
so
Citadel.
many different compositions come through
Goodbye.
from them, but it feels oh so fitting that they finish off the series on the heroes that we've long
5 gifted
known
subs,
them
and I'll
for.
give the points to Citadel Gaming right now. For
VIRTUS.PRO.
Hey,
it was a slow.
You guys care about your points? 5 gifted right.
Stairs to don themselves atop the throne that
VIRTUS.PRO, right?
was
Yeah.
once in their name. We called this team the best in the world. We assumed that the world title would be theirs at Guangzhou, and they never managed to make it.
But chat, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what while they're yapping real quick, this is what I'm trying to say. Bro, the Mags throwing a random fucking half-court shot at someone that's flying that can easily dodge that is very risky. I would rather have a 50-50 and throw it down at the ground where everyone's at, because they can either A, block it, or B, if they don't block it, it's probably going to be guaranteed a kill. Or at least do a fuck ton of damage so you can get someone low enough to actually get the kill.
Everything falls apart and you bring new things in. Just like the tide washes away
Nah, bro.
all of the foundations that you've built in the sand, you have to begin all the way from the beginning. Rebuilding synergy, rebuilding game plans, having your coach
Real
as
Dex.
well,
Appreciate the
literally
Master Prime
teaching
sub, my friend.
every single bit of map macro, all anew. VIRTUS.PRO decided no. Instead of looking to rebuild and letting the tide wash away what was previously, they fortify instead. From sand, they turn to stone as a foundation. They've finally been able to find that crown.
Let's talk to one of the oldest members of this team as well in Finzy. Actually, the newest member of this roster, I believe, having replaced Doge. Congratulations on finally getting your crown, brother.
Thank you, thank you. We did it finally.
Finzy!
It feels like we've been waiting for you guys to ascend these steps forever. How did this match go down compared to the winners finals? What really made the difference in VP versus Citadel?
They didn't delete that tweet back. See,
I mean,
the guy actually said a really wholesome message.
We also kind of stumped Navi the game before, and our comms and our playstyle and like our dive was insane today. So I think we just all woke up like in a really good mood, playing good.
So what's been the work that's been done in the back end of things? Because one of the things that we've always seen from VIRTUS.PRO is that in MLC with the universal bans, you guys dominate. But then when you come into Ignite, the one-sided bans...
Oldest member and he's 21? Finzy's not 21 years old.
How exactly did you guys clean up your ban format?
I think Finzy's like 27. 27.
And yeah, just a lot of work basically. I mean, our bans today were really good, I think. I think we outdrafted Citadel hard. Especially like on Midtown, they had no clue what to do when we banned their Storm last, because they usually go like Jeff, NATO and stuff like we saw yesterday.
Damn,
so I think we outdrafted them hard today.
Is there a final authority in your team when it comes to the bans in game? Is there someone who's mostly in charge of that?
No, we all just talk about it, and then sometimes there's like 1 second left and we decide on a ban, and Alex has to like click on it so fast. But I mean, we mostly talk about it before, but then sometimes like, because sometimes the enemy team does something unexpected with a save or a ban, so sometimes you have to talk about it mid-game too.
Was there any strategy that you guys had been holding on to surprise your opponent? We got to see things like the Angela plays coming on through, as well as the Human Torch, the Star-Lord, and the Psylocke, which we would kind of expect from you guys given the fact of how predominant you've been in the past. Was there a composition that Citadel had no idea you had in the back pocket that you'd been preparing for this moment?
No, I wouldn't say we were like hiding any comps. Just if we played any new comps today, it's just because we think it's the best comp in that moment, and maybe that moment hadn't come before in the match. So we just always play what's best. We don't really hide stuff. We just play what we think is gonna work.
Now you're headed to Atlanta for DreamHack for the first LAN for VIRTUS.PRO. Is there any team international?
Chat, I literally just said he's 27 years old.
I mean Envy and FlyQuest especially, because I like the other two best teams in the world. So now we already beat Navi and Citadel, so now I want to also beat Envy and FlyQuest.
Damn, not 100
Do you have
Thieves?
anything that you want to say to your fans who've been supporting you? Because you guys have been a team literally since the beginning, essentially, of Marvel Rivals Esports. So do you have, taking this opportunity, the moment to speak to everyone who's been there always cheering for VIRTUS.PRO?
Yeah, I mean, we see in every chat and every like corner of the community, we see we have a lot of support and a lot of people love us. So I want to thank everyone for all the support you give us. And I want to thank my family and friends and my teammates, of course, and of course VIRTUS.PRO for believing in us after we didn't do great last time.
Damn, he saw the tweet. He
saw
the tweet.
To show people what we're worth.
All right, that belief was well placed, and you have earned your crown finally, Fincy. Best of luck in Atlanta, and make sure that you win it for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Real Dex, appreciate the Master Prime sub.
Reigning champion Vanguard Fincy from VIRTUS.PRO. Mox, it was hard fought, it was contentious. I think